How you doing, everyone? Um, Welcome to another live stream because I've seen a lot of people making videos about my country and the situation. However, none of them did the most, you know, random thing of actually having an Israeli person or a so-called Palestinian person in their videos. But I've seen a lot of people talking about us. And I wanted to give you a chance to actually have a conversation with us, especially for, a real Israeli person. My name is that one Israeli girl. I was born, raised, and still in Israel um, in this war, which is not the first time we're having this war with the Islamic Jihad. But my point here is to make sure you guys will understand that this is a safe place for you to have questions, to have everything you're seeing, like just to have an actual conversation with an Israeli person and not to go to random YouTubers who will so-called, people who call themselves geopolitical people and people who can see both sides and blah, 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 but actually never spoke to either of us. Remember, I'm always telling you to go talk to a Palestinian person, go talk to me, or to a random Israeli person, and the truth is somewhere in the middle. It is important for us to have conversation with the people who are in the area that the media is covering right now. Please remember this. And please don't let people make videos about some issue without actually getting the right information. Because if all your information is, if you're making a YouTube video and all your information is from things you see in in the media, in the news, everyone can see the news. No one needs your stream. It's all fine. So like I say, I want people who are support of my country, support the Islamic Jihad. Let's have an actual conversation. If you are willing to join, show your face or show your voice and actually have a conversation and not just scream and shout because you think it's cool and you think it's going to bring you more likes. Because I know the war right now is trending. It is cool for people to take advantage of the fact that we're suffering here right now because it's bringing them more likes, because more people are subscribed to them. Like all this, really crazy, unnecessary, uh, stupid thing. It's that easy. If you see a video of someone talking about the Israeli Palestinian, let's call it like this, war, ask them if they actually spoke to either of those sides or if they got all their information from the news, or maybe they went to Reddit. This is like what the people who are really investigating, they're going to Reddit and read some random post there because you can totally see if a person from Reddit is actually from, the person who's actually from here. Because Reddit is such a trustworthy website. Okay, so if you want to join, all you need to do is unmute yourself and I will let you speak and we will have a conversation. We will try to make sure this will not be such a long conversation with every single person because I do want every single person to get a chance to speak their minds. And something really important, everyone here, for those of you who are watching this stream later on, just know that live streams like this are usually focusing on the people who are in the live stream right now and in the comment section, and the people who are, the brave people who are willing to join and show their faces. So, and therefore, all of those live streams, I just I advise you to join the live stream and not watch it later on. Um, yeah, because just it's more, I don't know. It's just if you want to be a part of us, just come be a part of this amazing community. And this is why I'm always telling you guys, you can see I've been doing this channel since 2017. This is so important for us to communicate because if we are talking to each other, Everything you will see in the media, everything you will hear, you will know that you can go and talk to the civilians of this place. And this is how people cannot scare you, people cannot tell you lies, geopolitical people cannot tell you their professional thinking and blah blah blah, but you, like, honestly, without any information, you can talk to people. This is why it is so amazing, the fact that we have internet, the fact that we have social media, the fact that we're able to communicate with people who are different from us, who are from different religion, different ethnicity, different skin color, different blah blah blah. We are right now at the point where everything that the media is telling us, everything that the government is telling us can be questionable. And we are right now able to communicate to civilians, from civilians to civilians, and actually have a conversation. I'm talking to people from Iran. Iran, the place who is keep saying, keep dripping to everyone that like Israel must be destroyed and we need to kill all the Jewish people, blah blah blah. The people of Iran, the one who were under the colonization of the radical Islamic right now, Islamic movement right now, they don't want that. They want to live in peace. How amazing is that? Think about this, the fact that we are able to actually communicate and not let governments tell us we need to hate each other. This is so important. So, this is why today we will bring a lot of people here. I hope one of the people will be against, against Israel and against the freedom of every single person and pro jihad and everything. So, you guys can realize that World War III already happening. It's already started. You need to understand that. This is not a war against countries, this is a war against religion. If you're not a radical Islamic person, you are in danger. Okay, let's start. Like I said, every single person who wants to join need to be unmuted, and I will let you join. All you need to is to unmute yourself because I'm not letting people without sound join. Okay. Hello, by the way. Hi, everyone who joined this live stream. Everyone in the comments, thank you so much for watching this, for commenting. It's really important for me to know that people actually care and people actually come in uh, to hear things. Yeah. Okay. Let's start. Like I said, every person who want to join need to unmute themselves. Madhab, do you understand I'm talking to you? Raise your hand if you are. Good. Linear, 1, 2, 3. Hello. How you doing? Madhab, you're live. Dude, what's up?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
So, hello.
Hey. Okay, let's just have a conversation. Yeah, ask me questions, get information, whatever you want.
Yeah, your video it froze, so I didn't respond. So,
Mm-hmm.
let me ask a question. I think I'm
Yeah.
audible.
You are, you are.
Yeah. So, one thing it's a funny question, but I want you to answer. Like, who are
Ask your questions. What is your question?
hello?
Madhab, ask your question. Okay, you know what? Ask the question in the comment section, maybe. I don't know. It's keep being stuck every time. Okay, only people with who unmute themselves can join. Like I remember, like I said. So Sandeep, are you aware I'm talking to you? Good. One,
You?
two, three.
Yeah.
Hello. How are you doing?
Hi. I'm doing good. How
Hi.
are you?
I'm at war, fighting for
Haha.
my life, my religion, my ethnicity, and soon you will also be. So things are not that well for us.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
do understand that. Honestly, I would have wished the other way. But it's been 75 years, and I guess we have seen Pakistan, right? Where we have, there's always that constant. it's just the kind of neighborhood. And in fact, in Israel, the area with of the Middle East, like it's about 1%, maybe less area that Middle East that Israel has, and still, the neighbors are not, they don't want Jews there, right? So that's the thing. My question,
It's not, by the way,
ma'am.
it's not just Jewish people. You are,
Yeah,
if
I
you are
know.
not a radical Muslim, you are also in danger.
Yeah, yeah, I
Let's be
understand
perfectly
that.
clear what happened, because the victims that they took, they did not ask any one of the hostages. The Hamas, for those who doesn't know, the terror organization Hamas actually break into the land of Israel and kidnapped people.
Yeah,
They did not
yeah,
ask any person what are their ethnicity, what is their religion. They saw a
yeah,
person, are you Muslim? No, they didn't even ask.
yeah.
They just like kidnapped.
I got it. Ma'am, my question was that you have, again, in this context, you've used the term moderate Muslim, right? And it seems that there's no condemnation coming from the Middle East and the Muslim countries in Middle East, right? Which is basically all of them, right? Apart from Israel,
Yes,
and
we are the
there's
only indigenous people of the
yeah,
land.
and if you look at it, ma'am, even the US universities, right, we see a lot of these, and they're chanting all the hideous slogans against the Jews, right? Like it's, and I understand that, there's a concept of the infidel, right, in Islam. So I just want to understand, how do we identify the moderate Muslims from, the radical ones? I mean, the radical ones are obviously Khomeini, and all these guys are,
It is
they
really
have no
easy.
masks
It is
on.
really easy to see.
Yeah,
Um, a radical Muslim will be outside right now in the street waving the
got
Palestinian
it,
flag,
got it.
screaming intifada. For those of you who doesn't know what intifada, they're telling you intifada means resisting. But intifada means the 26th of November, the 9/11. That is intifada.
Yeah, yeah.
Simple as that.
Unfortunately, it seems that there's a very large person, at least the visible chunk of people, don't. I mean, I've seen the ex one guy interview who was actually a member of Hamas, who now, condemns Hamas, and there was an interview. Obviously, he was a Palestinian, born to a, jihadi leader, but then he now supports, Israel, and wants them to wipe out Hamas, which all of us do, honestly, because I don't think they seek coexistence. uh, and yeah, that's uh, and just thanks for answering the questions,
Of
Shalom.
course.
It's just great to catch up, right? I don't want to take much more time. Thank you
No
very much.
worries, but I do appreciate you showing your face, speaking your truth. You did mention something really, really important, the fact that there's some people who are just born and raised to Islam, and they were, yes, they are being taught that one day there will be a war starting over the religion and all the people who are not Muslim will be dead. But remember, there are different. I'm just like everyone. You need to learn the difference in Islam. There's Sunni Islam, there's Shi'i Islam. There's so many different subgroup inside of this. If you're not the right way, according to the radicals, you're also in danger. So we need to remember that, hashtag not all Muslims and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not the way I think some of the radical Muslims demonize others. It's not, we can't be the same way, right? Demonizing all Muslims, right? So I understand that. Thank you,
exactly.
and thank you very much.
Love, respect, but always be suspicious. Make sure
Yeah,
you and your family is safe. Thank you
thank you.
so much for
Shalom.
joining.
Shalom.
Namaste. I love the fact
Namaste.
that you guys are saying that. Seriously.
Yeah,
Okay. So you have a great
namaste.
day and thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining.
Same to you.
I really appreciate it. I love the fact that, guys, the fact that you're joining and actually talking, this is so important. And thank you so much for this. Let's see who is else. Um, guys, I'm butchering names here. You know that, right? Okay. Let's just let the troll continue being here. It's all good. Oh, by the way, guys, thank you for every person who is donating. Thank you so much. The money will go to whatever will be necessary, whether it's support, buy equipment for the soldiers, or help them after the war, or help the people in the, like, this will be a donation to them. So thank you so much. Seriously. And yes, I totally agree. We all need to fight um, radicalization because in everything we need to fight against like people who are going a little too crazy. Okay, let's move on. Butchering names. I'm sorry. Rational. Okay, rational. I'm putting you on. One, two, three. Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, awesome. My headphones finally work. Uh, yeah,
Congrats.
so um, no, I'm from India as well, and I live near a city near Mumbai, and I've been watching it for a while. Uh, and I had this observation about your comments that there's finally an awakening now that it's not an Arab issue, it's not a regional issue, it's actually a pan-Islamic global issue now. And
Exactly.
yeah, if you see the refugees that are now landing on the shores of Greece and Italy, and it's absolutely insane what Europe is doing. They're unable to see the consequence of demographics. Demographics is destiny. um, Humans, if they replace you as the voting bloc, it's over. And so the guy before said, and I'm sure he means well, that we should not demonize all Muslims. But for me, essentially, Muslim and Islamist is the same thing, right? I mean, you say, if you follow uh, Christianity, you're a Christian. So if you follow Islam, you are an Islamist in a sense. So Muslim kind of,
However, I'm
yeah,
sorry for
yeah, yeah,
interrupting you. However, a Christian people nowadays, most of them will not go and do crusades. Back in
yeah,
the
yeah, I
day,
agree.
I agree with what you're saying because back in the day,
Yeah,
Christian people did terrible things, but it
no, no.
became a little like settled.
Oh yeah,
Right now,
absolutely.
we are in the beginning of the World War III, where it's war on religion.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
not.
absolutely. I completely agree. Yeah, there's no. I mean, all religions have mellowed out essentially, except Islam.
Mm.
And so the thing is that when you say, okay, Muslims need to be shown as the victim, they need to be, not be demonized. I'm not saying that Muslims as humans should be demonized, but I'm saying that their association with Islam needs to be put into spotlight in the same way that a person's association with Nazism would be, right? If you read the texts, they are genocidal. The core philosophies are genocidal, and the problem is that there's no room for interpretation. There's no room to squiggle out. If you read the Bible, there's part one, there's part two, a lot of things are happening. So there's a lot of room for interpretation. Even in Hinduism, there are so many different characters, so many different storylines that you can kind of get lost into the mythologies of things, and you can interpret it in different ways and form literature. So literature and art emerge out of those things. The problem with Islam is that it is so lean, it is so concise, that there's no space for literature to emerge or arts to emerge, and so they're not able to develop a culture outside of its core uh, hateful tenets. And this needs to be exposed. If you knew people like Christopher Hitchens and Richard Dawkins, they were atheists essentially. And what they did was they did conducted debates on Christianity a decade or so ago. And what that did was it basically gave a blow to Christianity in a way in which nobody else could, because they're very clinical about it. uh, I think something like that needs to happen with Islam as well. um, there needs to be a literal debunking of those texts, because if you convince the human that there is no afterlife, that the texts are in a sense uh, deeply hateful and unhelpful to them, they will some of them will in fact turn secular, because there's no way that Europe is going to simply mass deport these people. They don't have it in them. So how do we fight this fight? What tools do we use? And in my opinion, the only tool that we have left is to convince them.
Well, first, um, let me break down because you did said several important things. I'm sorry, not
Mhm.
one thing. My English is terrible, guys. By the way, we speak Hebrew here. You don't speak English. Also, there
Yeah,
we're
that's
all
fine.
speaking English because the British occupied us. So sorry for that.
No, I consider that a boon. I consider that a gift of the British. I like English. So
I don't. But okay, I think you know what the gift is that it's helping us communicating and communicate. Fine.
yeah.
Um, you mentioned the fact that Muslim people are going, especially Muslim refugees are going seeking shelters in Europe, in in America, and right now we started in Asia, like in a lot of different places, and they're never going to seek for shelters in their like in other Muslim countries.
Mm.
This is something that we always need to like see, because we need to ask ourselves why do people much rather live under a different ruling other than
Yeah.
what they believe in? This is something I think um, it's like a lot of the people want to be Muslims in their own home, but they don't
Mm.
want to live under the Sharia law because they are understanding the Sharia law is a really um, not a good way to live your life if you are a collective, if you are a group of like a lot of people, because it is most of the time. Um, I don't care what you guys are opinion about, for example, LGBTQ people. However, even if you don't agree with this way of life, I'm sure you guys are agreeing that this is not a reason to murder someone in the
Absolutely.
in
Yeah.
like in a terrible way. They're
Yeah.
actually throwing them from the rooftops of buildings.
Oh yeah.
Every woman who has an opinion, every woman who showing her hair is a
Yeah.
disgraceful thing. Even though they will tell you hijab is something a woman is doing when she feels like when she feels comfortable of doing,
Mm.
and they're gonna paint it like such a beautiful thing, and it is a beautiful decision in Western countries.
Mm.
In countries like Iran, I'm always like I'm talking about Iran because Iran is such a good place to look at. Iran is like not an Arab country, but Iran became radical Islamic country very
Yeah.
very fast. 50 years ago, the people we can still see pictures of people like of females in Iran walking with like normal clothes, and I'm saying normal
Yeah.
because normal for the majority of the world, right? Not with this
Yeah.
huge burqa, huge
Yeah.
sack black with only their eyes and this also covering sheer thing.
And we're all
Um,
supposed to believe that women only like black, right? I mean, women don't like any other
First
color
of all,
except black.
I'm wearing black and this is slimming and everything. So, but
But I mean, the
we
Iranians seem to have a very a love for black color. Apparently, they're women because nobody else. If hijab is only about covering, then where's the where's the hijab with the flowers and the designs and all of that? Where's the beauty in it? There's no
because no,
beauty
because
in the
all the
color.
point in the hijab is to the actual point in the hijab. And by the way, I want this to be clear for every single person who is here. Hijab is not an Islamic invention. Hijab was
Hmm.
something that people wore here in the Middle East long time ago because it was a desert place. We didn't have a lot of agriculture and stuff, so this is why people have to put this to like cover themselves living in the desert. This is something
Right.
that is not a lot of the things Islam has taken from the country, from the indigenous people of those lands when they stole their lands, when they occupied it. um, so the point of hijab is to be modest, is to teach yourself. I mean, hair is power, so they're covering it. However,
Yeah.
what they're doing, and this is why majority of the makeup industry is pro-Palestine right now, because they don't have the hair, they're putting so much like thick layers of makeup. Not all of them. So for
Yeah.
some of them, it looks absolutely gorgeous. Okay, but you can see it's a like a makeup mask. This is
Hmm.
why the majority of the makeup companies are saying it will be financially benefiting us to support the people who use makeup to show
They're
their
they're throwing the shampoo guys
natural
under the bus, I
beauty.
guess. They
Yeah,
are throwing the
but like
shampoo guys under the bus.
yeah, no, the shampoo industry, nah, they're sticking with us. Um, but another thing that is very important, I mean, so we covered the fact that you said about Muslim people coming to um, Western countries. Let's call
Yeah.
everyone Western, okay? I'm not Western, but let's just call every country that they're
Yeah.
arriving Western.
European
And
countries. Yeah.
from there, yeah, but from there they are um, supporting the countries they came back, like they were running away from.
Yeah.
There, and like I said in the video about Mia Khalifa, maybe it is because they're scared and they know it's about to come there, and they much rather make it look like, oh, we're cool with you guys, we're here. Or, and this is actually something that is happening because it is a like known that people who are from those places, people who immigrate to those places, are some of them actually just like decent people who want to live their life. Some of
Hmm.
them are doing terror attacks. Some of them are, there's something called in Hebrew, I don't know, let's kind of translate it to English, a sleeping cell, which is
Hmm.
a group of radicals going, moving to a different place,
Yep.
being nice, being quiet, being polite, and then when they, when someone is giving the note, they're just like went and attack and everything. So
Yep.
there are two options, and it's very it's terrifying for the people who just want to move to a better place and live their life, because people always secretly looking at them, that maybe they will be one of those people who will, snap, and like their entire personality will change and they're gonna scream
Yep.
Allah Akbar and blah blah blah. um yeah.
But I think it's also like it's also very opportunistic. I don't think it's. I mean, obviously there is a component where they want to flee Sharia law, but it's also very opportunistic. I don't think there's any integrity there. They just want to move to Europe because they feel like the doors are open and it doesn't matter. They don't have integrity to say no, 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 we don't want to move there. It's kafir land, um, and we live under the laws that we believe in. I think that there's this opportunistic side to them where they see the economic benefit, and they also see in Quran where it says that there's Darul Harb and all of those things. Um,
The fact that
yeah,
the Quran is saying stuff in the Quran, it is mentioned that the land of Israel is the land of the Jew of the 12 tribes of Jacob. However, it doesn't matter what is in the.
yeah, it
We need
doesn't
to
matter.
always remember that the Islam, historical wise, it is a
Yeah,
very very new religion. Islam has only been around 1,500 years.
yeah,
That is it. When people are moving, but we need to learn about Islam because it is important, because when when a Hindu person or a Sikh person is moving to a different country, he's not saying, I'm going to move to that country because I believe, and I believe that all of the world should be with my religion.
correct,
Judaism and Hinduism are, I'm always saying this, the reason why we are all like, the reason why Israeli people feel so comfortable traveling to India, to Bharat. I'm sorry, I'm trying to fix it. I know you guys changed it, and I'm so happy you finally did
I
it.
don't mind either way.
No, no, no. We need it. That's your language. That's your name. It should be recognized. It's all good. Fix me, guys, in the comments, please. Um, the fact that you are not trying to force everyone or to like make people convert to your religion, and you just have your land, you don't believe in like one day we will have I know there is the phrase of like the big Bharat, there's also the phrase of like the big Israel, which was what we believe, like the territory when we were a kingdom. But we never said we want to take over the entire world, like absolutely not. And this is another thing you guys have in common, you're not trying to take over the world. islam
Right.
is Islam is
Yep.
trying to make this world an Islamic world. According to them, they believe that with this, if the entire world will be Muslim, only good things will happen to every person who is Muslim. I mean, it's not that they believe I'm gonna murder everyone and this land gonna be filled flat and we're all gonna walk to school like with the like making our shoes dirty from the blood, blah blah. No, they actually believe that they're doing something good. This is really important to understand, because if you
Yeah,
don't understand their culture, the way they're seeing things, you cannot understand how dangerous what is happening. People judging, we're so used to look at everything thanks to the Western with a Western point of view of like, oh, everyone just want like happiness and there's the true and like everything good and blah blah blah. If
yeah,
you don't know what if you don't know people culture and like traditions and language, you don't understand if you are in danger, and you don't understand why it's happening.
exactly. Just like Angela Merkel made the mistake, right? She assumed that everybody thought the same and everybody wanted the same things, and she couldn't comprehend that some people actually believe in something completely different. I like to put this in the context where it's more like those who believe in music festivals versus those who don't. they attacked a music festival in Israel, right? So
Yeah,
I think
let's
everybody
just
across the world can relate to that.
talk about this for 1 second for those of you who doesn't know. So there was this supernova festival in Kibbutz Re'im, um, next to the place where people just came and celebrate, played music, enjoy their time, and you can clearly see the terrorists attacking them, killing them, taking hostages. Those are just people who came to dance without any agenda, just people who came to dance and their life was destroyed. And let me just reply to one comment, to one question. Music banned in Islam. In radical Islam, it is forbidden to hear music because they believe music is a tool of the devil. Again,
Yep.
radical Islam. It is a tool
I
of
tend
the
to say.
devil to confuse you and to make you be more, uh, open-minded to a different, to more earthly things. And by the way, a lot of the songs right do like nowadays are stupid, so I kind of agree. However, music is important, and they are using music as a tool of terror. They used to play a lot of songs about like how they will destroy us, and so if you guys want to check it out, maybe I'll do a video about it later.
Yeah, so I mean, it is a battle of civilization between those who love music, those who love joy. I mean, I've been to festivals in Goa, and I know a lot of Israelis do visit Goa as well.
Hmm.
And it's just unbelievable that they would attack something so sacred and beautiful as a music festival. Um, it's insane.
It's not there's nothing secret in that, according to them. The only
Yeah,
thing that is holy is to have a jihad war, and the jihad war is to fight and kill as many people who are not on the same page as you.
but I think it does stem from their core beliefs that they are actually going to heaven, and all of that. That this is all because, I mean, if you just take away their core beliefs, it all just falls apart. The house of cards just falls apart because it is, as Bill Maher used to say, that promising women in the afterlife is the lowest thing that any god could offer to their men, and this is what has been offered. So if you really do debunk that, there are ex-Muslims in India as well. There are a lot of secular Muslims here. Um, who do try to debunk Islam on a lot of platforms. Um, and so these people are really precious, and I think we should all support them across the world, wherever they are. I mean, from
Exactly.
within the community, the solutions can come from within the Muslim community itself. And by
Every
the way, if you
single
look,
person need to understand he's a part of the greatest of the, the fact that I'm sure you have a completely different culture than mine, um, but we're still able to have a conversation. And even if
yeah,
I will not agree with everything you're saying right now,
all right,
I will never kill you. I will never go to your home and slaughter you
exactly,
because of that.
exactly. What's the
That
fun in
is,
that, right? Then where goes the arguments? Where goes the discussions, right? Where goes the you should have fun in discussions and arguments and disagreements even. That's the way of the civilized people. By the way,
Mhm.
LGBTQ is legalized in India. I don't know if you know that it's decriminalized, so it's not banned in India. Yeah, gay marriage is still under consideration, but yeah,
Same. I mean, there is a lot of issues. However, I don't want to talk about the
yeah, yeah,
LGBTQ. Just to let you guys know that, like in Israel, there's a city called Tel Aviv who has. Uh, it's funny. They call it like the biggest. Tel Aviv is like the gay capital of the Middle East, and it's funny that it's known like this. It is simply because you cannot be gay in any other
yeah.
country, but just like it's a city who is like incredibly welcome and everyone are feeling like included,
No, no, I
and no
completely
one is
support that.
getting killed unless
I
there is
completely
a
support
third.
that. It's only
Yeah,
unfortunate that the political stance is so far left that it's like, why? I don't get it, but I obviously support the right to exist and all of that. Yeah,
but I don't care about politics. Here's again, that's the most important thing. Politicians and geopoliticians and all those people,
yeah.
they have their purpose is to make you guys like you and I like to make us all worship them and think like every all the information we will get is from them and blah blah blah, and this is how it is easy for them to manipulate us. The fact that civilians are able to talk to other civilians right now from
Yeah.
different places in the world, it is amazing. And the fact that like people from countries that is like supposed to hate each other is India, again, Bharat did not recognize Israel for a long, long time. You
Right.
think it stopped the Israeli civilians to travel to your country and to love the people of Bharat? We
Yeah.
could not care less about the geopolitical thing. And I'm happy our governments are talking right now, and I'm happy we're both working on agriculture and things together. However, that was not something that was not something that only happened because they saw the benefits they will get. They
Yeah.
saw that they cannot stop the people who are just being friends, who are celebrating each other, and they're like, our government gave up. Our government like broke down and said, you know what, let's work together because our civilians already doing that.
Yeah.
So there's nothing, and even if India, uh, if people will tell, if the government here will say, we're stop working with India, don't trust them, people, blah, 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 we're going to start a war. You have so many people who, in my country, who went to India, who talked to people from Bharat. So this will never happen. It could
Oh yeah.
not happen because every person who went to Bharat is like as an ambassador of Bharat here and
Yeah.
any other
Absolutely.
places go.
Absolutely, and the
So
same thing happened here as well. Yeah, same thing
that's
happened here,
great.
where when India did not recognize Israel, even though
Hmm.
we did not, there was this implicit attraction towards Israel. There was this implicit support of Israel amongst the people, which eventually just emerged finally into the politicians just giving up and saying, what's the point in playing the balancing act, and Palestinians don't care anyways about Kashmir and all of that. So let's just build the bridge. I think I should commend Modi on that. He really did a good job on that one.
Yeah, it is important. Oh, thank you guys. Again, it's really, you know what I love about this community we built here? People reminded me to drink water. I'm not joking. This is why it's so beautiful. Seriously, the fact that people like know me and know I can talk on and on and on, but they're like, girl, drink water. I love this. Thank you so much. And thank you every person who is donating and writing messages. Like I said, all the donations will go to the people who actually need them.
Awesome.
So, radical, every rational. I'm sorry. Any last questions before I'm letting you free and giving
Um,
a.
yeah, I've hogged off all of your time on the live stream. I'm really sorry about that.
No,
Uh,
no, no. Do not apologize. You were. Thank you for joining and speaking. It is important. I want. That's the whole point of this stream. That's the whole point of
yeah,
my channel. Civilians communicating with each other without any government or geopolitical people in our head telling us who to love and who to hate. This is
yeah,
important.
absolutely.
And thank you.
All right. Just one last comment.
Sure.
One day I hope soon enough that I could visit Israel, and I'll make it a point to visit a music festival and definitely trip on something there, because I want to visit there and have a lot of fun, and just as a symbolic visit. So um, yeah, that's all.
This means
Have
a
fun,
lot.
guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Seriously. Okay, I thank you so much for joining. Guys, the second the war is ending, we do have amazing, beautiful like music festivals and stuff. You're more than welcome to join. Uh, yeah. Okay. Jill, are you where I'm talking to you? Jill Vera. 1, 2, 3. Hello. Oh wait, you disappeared the second I upload. Okay. Let's see who else is here. Like I said, every person who wants to join need to be unmuted. Um, um, M- M- Mehul. I don't know. Mehul Mana. I don't know if that's your name. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Uh, what's up? Yeah, I'm not answering that question. That's one question I will not answer.
Why? What's wrong about that question?
Oh, I'm just
Uh,
joking. I don't know if you noticed. My country is in war and we lost a lot of
yeah,
people in
I
the
I
last
know
month.
all the horrible things that have been happening and going on in Israel, and you guys
Hmm.
are at a war, and but a lot of innocent people are actually suffering because of it. on both the sides, actually.
That is true.
What about the airstrikes that Israel has been doing? And I recently read an article in which they were telling about a hospital that
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Something. Okay, let's talk about the hospital. So in Gaza Strip, there are two terror organizations that is kind of fighting over to control the area. The Islamic Jihad, that's the name of the
yeah,
terror organization, and the Hamas.
yeah. Okay.
The second, and it's really shocking to me, by the way, it was so interesting that the second the explosion in the hospital happened, Hamas immediately counts 500 dead people. How crazy
Oh
is
my
this?
God.
They're so good in math. They cannot actually make sure that their people, that the Gaza people will have running clear water or having good job opportunities inside the Gaza Strip. Nothing.
Yeah,
But to count, you're like Rain Man. Amazing.
yeah.
No, it
And
is
they have built
pretty
underground tunnels
obvious. Wait, hold on.
with all the money they get and with all the aid money they get. They built underground
Yeah.
tunnels
So they
so
built
that they can throw.
for those of you who
Yeah,
doesn't know what UNRWA is, UNRWA is the organization that is helping the Palestinian refugees. There is only one organization who is helping refugees all over the world, and that's UNRWA, because Palestinian refugees are the one who's getting the most
yeah,
out of every single refugee who's actually needing that. Because I don't know if you noticed, there's a lot of refugees from a lot of different countries, but for some reason
yeah,
they're not getting anything like the Palestinian people. Um, what happened in the hospital? The second there
yeah,
was the explosion, Hamas immediately say Israel did this
yeah. And the whole
immediately.
world believed it.
The whole world believe it because and that wasn't again really entertaining to see for me because you just saw them. hamas did not Hamas was not ashamed of what they did. They posted them, they themselves posted the videos of them slaughtering people, slaughtering women, babies, killing people, still like
Yeah,
kidnapping them, raping them,
doing
everything.
all the horrible things.
But for 1 second, and by the way, Hamas did send a rocket to a hospital, to Balzirai Hospital in Israel. The
Uh,
hospital, who, by the way, is treating Palestinian people from the Gaza Strip when their hospitals, because their hospitals is like, their hospitals are not real hospitals. I don't know if you guys are understanding how hospitals is actually working. But for some weird reason, all the cancer treatment, all the actual surgery, they're not doing this in the Gaza Strip. For some reason, there are so many doctors volunteering in the Gaza Strip. None of them know how to do an operation. Everything they're getting in Israel free. So what happened in
so
this
what
hospital?
would
And
happen now
okay, no, because
if
it
the
is
war
important.
continues? If the war continues, what is going to happen then?
Hold on, we're talking about the hospital because this is
Yeah.
important.
Okay.
What happened in the hospital? People saw from every single camera that the rocket was launched from the Gaza Strip and crashed down. Now this is not the
Yeah.
first time. They're doing a lot of rockets are actually crashing down in their area, killing their people, and they're blaming Israel because according to their culture, the second they started this war, every single person who is dying and not an Israeli, the Israelis killed him. That is their
Yeah.
culture, and you need to understand this. Now, I do understand a lot of the media and a lot of geopolitical people also in your country, also in Bharat, immediately said, oh, Israel did this, Israel did that. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
the Hamas terror organization stopped being a terror organization who's doing crazy radical things and started to be a reliable news source, which is
Yeah.
amazing and shocking and really, really,
And Iran is
questionable.
supporting them and encouraging them to do all these things.
The fact that the world immediately said this is what Israel has done and like agreed with the Hamas shows how much people does not really care about the war. No one actually
Yeah.
questioned this, and only after Israel actually showed proof there was no military action in this area at this time. There's so many cameras showing this because there are live cameras all the time filming what is happening if from the Gaza Strip. And then all of a sudden people are like, all right, yeah, that makes sense. Which, by the way, not five, they keep saying 500 people have died. That's not true. According to what we know right now, it's either like 10, 20, let's give it 50 people. Which, by the way, all of
Uh,
them, if they were actually like sick people and people who are working in the medical field, I feel sorry for them. This is terrible what this war is doing. And one of
yeah,
the things we want to do is to give those people the option to live their life peacefully and not be scared if you go into a hospital that maybe you're going to die. But this is
yeah,
something that Hamas and the radical jihad is doing, and it's not something new. This is not the first time they're using hospitals and kindergartens and schools, UN schools, as human shields to their actions. This is something
yeah,
really important that people should remember again and again because if you do not, like I said, if you do not understand their culture,
yeah.
don't try to claim that you are understanding what is happening. You need to learn the culture, you need to learn what they're doing, and then you have the chance to speak your mind.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, the other
So
question.
what now after the war? Like,
What do you
in case
mean
the
what
war
right now
continues,
after the war?
in case the war continues, what is Israel going to do then? I mean, an on-ground attack on Gaza so that they can
We
invade and
don't
sort of
know. Right
clear
now the
all the
most
Hamas
important
out,
thing
all the
right now
Hamas
the most
people out.
important thing for us is to make sure our hostages will be free. We want the people of Gaza to be free.
Yeah,
When people say free Gaza, I agree with this. The Hamas organization is controlling them. The Islamic Jihad is controlling them. But we right now we changed it to we want our people back. And we have also Arab people, Jewish people, Hindu. There's so many people there who are kidnapped there, who are right now under the Hamas ruling. I don't know
yeah.
what will happen with the war because right now, as you can see, I'm not in uniform. But what Israel will do is to try to bring back our home, like try to bring back our
And wipe
people.
Hamas out.
I hope this will happen. But like I said, this is not a war against is this is not an Israeli-Palestinian war. You need to understand this. This is a war about the radical Islam. It is known right now that Iran is helping this, that Yemen started to shoot missiles at Israel. What is Let me give you everyone in the comments. I want you guys to all answer the question. What is the common thing about the people who call themselves Palestinians, the people from Yemen, and the people from Iran? What is the common thing about all of them? I
What
want to
about
know. Do you
Hezbollah,
know?
who's been involved in this war? I mean,
Thank you so much for explaining. Also, what is the Lebanese? They're all Muslims. They're all believing that Jewish people, not only Israel, the Jewish people should not be exist because the second there is a person from the old religion is threatened, they're made up their new religion. You need to
yeah,
understand this. If you're not a radical Muslim, you are also in danger because you are also all the missiles you see here, all the terror attacks you see here, it will happen in your country. You're gonna miss the 26th of November. You're gonna look at this and say, "Oh, that was such a small terror attack. I miss terror attacks like this." Because what will have happened to you in your country will be so much bigger and so much scarier unless you will fight this.
yeah. And we shall fight this.
How?
I don't know how. I mean,
See, that's the problem.
yeah,
People who say I support Israel but do nothing and people who say yeah we will fight and do I understand that it's weird. I mean, none of you guys are in the army, none of you guys are like knowing how
yeah.
to like have been to a
We don't have
terrible
any
basically
military experience.
anti-121. It's not just
Most of us
military
don't have
experience,
any
you need to
military
learn.
experience, so we can't like go and fight Hamas off and do all this.
What you can do is
Yeah,
to share information, is to every person know at least two people. You can go outside talk, you can
okay.
share. The easiest thing is to click on the button share
Yeah, and to
stories of
report
survivors,
things.
share that,
Yeah, and of the hostages who are, yeah,
of the hostages, of the people who survive, of the people from the Nova Festival, the people who survived the party. There is so
what
many
happened
victims.
in Kibbutz Berry? I was what?
Okay, so Kibbutz Be'eri. is a kibbutz
Yeah.
next to the Gaza Strip. And when the radical Islamic people, the terror organization Hamas, came to came to this place, they slaughtered every single person in Kibbutz Be'eri, every single person who didn't manage to escape.
Oh
Slaughtered
my
them,
God.
burned them alive. If they were hiding in the shelters, so they throw bombs inside, like grenades inside of the shelters. Uh, there are a lot of people who got murdered there.
A lot of innocent people died because of this, right?
Yes. People and
Yeah.
animals, by the way, don't think that animals are not, according to Islam, dogs, if a dog is not being used as a protection dog, it is not,
Okay.
you are not allowed to have it. So all the dogs were also being shot. Like, this
Oh
is
my
not
God.
just like human. They killed
This is like a religious war.
Yeah, the point is to destroy everything in this war, like in this world. That's the point.
And to take over Israel. But their main goal is to like take over Israel, and but it's
Their
destroying.
main goal is to
Yeah,
destroy is to make sure this entire world, your country, my country, um, England, USA, Canada, Portugal,
every country in the
Algeria,
world.
every country in the world will be Islamic, radical Islamic country. That's their goal. It's not an
Establishing
Israel-Palestinian
caliphate
war.
state like ISIS did. I mean,
Yeah, Hamas is doing the exact same thing ISIS did. It's just like the crime were against Jewish people, not American people. So the world is being silenced. The world is saying, "No, I support," and then doing nothing. I say I
they are the
support,
new
and then
ISIS.
go into another video.
Okay, nice talking to you, and very sorry to hear all the innocent people suffering.
Thank you. Thank you for your questions. It is important for everyone to hear them. So I really
Okay,
appreciate you joining. Okay, let's see who else. Jill, are you fine now? You're not gonna run? Okay, let's try it again.
Hello,
What's up?
how are you? How are you?
I said I'm not answering that question anymore. We are at war. That's how I am.
So my question is, first of all, I'm telling you, my English is not very good, little bit good, but
No,
I want to
it's all
still
fine. It's all fine.
try to question you. So Hamas leader right now in Qatar, right? So they spreading a hateful speech against the Israel and Jewish people, and
Of
they
course.
calling him every Arab countries to unite them against Israel. Why, if they love their country, like if they love their country, why they are not in their country? They live in their in Qatar. Why?
I have a question. Are you Muslim?
I'm Hindu.
Okay. What are you doing in Qatar?
Oh, sorry, what?
What are you doing there? Are you working there? Are you studying there?
I'm studying. I'm student, cyber security student in India, Gujarat.
Mm-hmm. First of all, that is amazing. Good job for studying. That is important. Guys, go educate yourself. It is important. Um, you are in Qatar, therefore you are in danger. And if Israel will no longer be existed, you will be slaughtered. You understand that? You understand you're in a dangerous place.
So what I clear, not clearly your voice.
Sure.
Sorry for that. But
If you are not Muslim and you are in Qatar, the second
yeah,
Israel will be destroyed, you will
yeah,
be next. If you're not Muslim, you will be killed. It's that
yeah.
easy.
Actually, uh, I I would telling you, not every Indian support Israel right now,
I
especially
know,
Muslim in India.
I know. And you know why? Because this is not an Israel Palestinian war. This is a Muslim war. They're trying to destroy Judaism and Jewish people because Islam is a new religion and if it will, if the old religion that they stole from and changed that religion to the new religion is still existing, they cannot claim that they are the original people. If I'm going to Baharat and say I'm from Baharat, I'm the original, I'm the indigenous people of Baharat, but there are people who are actually from Baharat who born, raised, lived there for centuries, this shows that I'm lying. So what I need to do is to kill every single person who is threatening my lie, and then it will be easier for me to claim, yeah, I was here, I'm from here. There's no one alive who can say that I'm lying. This is what they're trying to do. It's not just against Israel. If you will tell them you are a Jewish person, don't do that. But if you have a death wish, tell them you're a Jewish person and not a Hindu person and see how they will treat you. Even if you say, I don't support Israel, see how they will treat you. You, as a Jewish person, not only who's practicing Judaism, a person who is ethnically like Jewish person, you are in danger, because if you're not converted to Islam, you're in danger of our lie.
Absolutely.
I'm really worried about you. I hope you're safe.
Yeah, hope so. So,
Make sure you have a plane ticket. But yeah.
first of all, second question I ask you about Jewish people, right?
Yeah.
Why Jewish people are more successful in every field, like technology, business? In the US, most of billionaires are in the world, all around the world, not the USA.
That's not true.
Why?
We're not the most successful, not the most smart. There are a lot of people who are successful and smart and doing amazing things. Also, the thing is that we always had to fight for our life. Christianity did the exact same thing. As long as they're Jewish people, it is threatened the Christianity. As long as they're Jewish people, it's threatened the Islam. The We're always sure that people will murder us. And this is something that happened. It's not just like, oh my God, I'm so scared, like I'm paranoid, everyone want to hurt us. People openly saying they want me dead. And this is the reason why we always try to make sure we will be able to survive. We believe, as Jewish people, we believe we need to bring light to this world, and we need to help every single person, and we need to make this world a better place. This is why Israel is such a big, Jewish people are so big in agriculture, in making sure, making water from the ocean drinkable water. This is something Modi ji came to Israel to see and to learn how to do it. And I really hope it will also happen in Bharat really soon, because it's amazing the fact that we can make people drink water that you're not supposed to drink, but all of a sudden you drink them and it has all the good vitamins and minerals for you. The reason why we are successful, not all of us, I'm not successful, I'm not rich, I'm not everything, okay? But the reason is that we constantly feel like we need to justify us being alive. Like, guys, don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me. I can help you make the water clear again. Please don't kill me. I can help with pollution. This is the way this is the way Jewish mind is working. We're always trying to prove the rest of the world that we can do things, and therefore they should not kill us. It is not a good thing. It's not I wish like we can just like be lazy, do absolutely nothing. But we always need to justify our right to exist, to be alive.
So I think I ask you the third question. Uh, you feel is many Palestinians are spreading everywhere in Europe because the Europe's illegal migration and their policy making because a lot of Palestinians are protest against large amount of Palestinian protest against Israel and threatens Jews in a foreign land. So how the Israeli government prevent against them in foreign?
There's nothing we can do. First of all, I'm not from the government. I have no idea what the government is doing. But there's nothing we as people can do to fight radicalization in other places in the world unless people will be like willing to listen. When I'm doing this channel and trying to learn about your culture and educate you about my culture, I'm trying to make you guys understand uh, how things really are. When I'm sharing posts and videos that other people have made, I'm trying to make you guys understand this situation and what is happening. And I feel like it's so important. And I want you all to understand that like we all need to be ready for the day like the radical Islam will try to take over the world. It's already started. They're started with us, but they're not gonna end with us. You know, if the state of Israel will no longer be Israel, do you think that will make them happy? What will happen after that? Do you think they have the Middle East and North Africa, which they occupied in the 7th century, and you think that's it? You think they will be happy with what they have? They are
So,
the Islamic movement is an empire. Empires trying to be bigger and bigger.
a lot of country, Islamic country, are condemned. Palestinians are very innocent, or Israel very evil. Why Egypt or Jordan or three, four country, Islamic country? Why they, you know, why they open the border for the Palestinian?
First of all, there is an open border for the Palestinians. Let me be perfectly clear. In the West Bank, they have a border with Jordan. In Gaza Strip, they have a border with Egypt. Back in the day, before 1967, when we had the war, when we freed our land, Palestine was a part of Jordan, Syria, and Egypt. None of the people who calling themselves Palestinians right now asked for freedom to be their own country. None of them cared. The Palestinian nation started less than 50 years ago. Like we need to understand like the and as an actual movement, as an actual I really care about this. This is not true. If you guys want to know what how like this area used to be called Syria Palestina after the Roman Empire destroyed our kingdom, you can Google and see what was the Palestinian flag in 1930. Everyone who has another phone, please Google right now and see it. See how the flag looks like. It looks really close to that one, okay? I'm sorry. This is like this. Looks really similar to this one. So the whole calling themselves Palestinians, that's not true. Go watch my video. The first video on my channel, the pin video when you enter my to see my channel, it is immediately right there. You see that I'm explaining what is Palestinian. Go
Yes.
educate yourself, guys. Seriously, it is important.
Yes.
Any
So
other
thank you
questions?
very much. That is, sorry, I want to ask you a question. What is your original name?
Oh, I'm not saying this. I'm sorry. I have my personal life and I want to keep it that way.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my pleasure to talking with you, and I wish you hosting every weekend live stream on YouTube.
When I have a
Thank you.
chance. But
Thank
thank
you
you. I
for having
really
me.
appreciate you joining. It is really important. And thank you all everyone who's like joining and willing to talk. I'm gonna let people who has also their face in the camera be first, but like every single person who is just, only with audio, it is totally fine as long as you guys are talking. So JDev, are you understand I'm talking to you? 1, 2, 3. Hello. Oh, I cannot hear you. Can you try to fix your audio? Fix your audio or single me and then we'll come back. Let's see. Every person who wants to join need to unmute themselves. Uh, let's see who's guys. If you're not unmuting yourself, you're not joining. Let's try it again. Try to speak. No, I'm sorry. Maybe try to join with your phone and not with your computer or something. No worries. No worries. Let's see who's else. Pabitra, I'm letting you in. 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry for butchering your name. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Can you just like either close the live stream because I'm hearing myself twice and this will bring audio issues.
Hello. Can I can
No,
could I
no, it's still terrible. Turn off the audio of my live stream. Okay, we'll go back to that. I've seen we have a lot of technical difficulties. Aman, I'm letting you in. 1, 2, 3. Hello.
Hello, is my audio okay?
Why do you have a picture of a girl? Seriously, why? I was so
that's
excited. I
my
said, yes,
that's my sis.
finally.
Okay. I wanna talk about the economic condition of Israel right now. It is facing
Okay.
that Iran has told that Iran foreign minister has told that it will put sanctions on Israel and
Oh
Arab and
no.
other Arab nations have been talking about the sanctions on Israel. Does it affect the economy or the people, their lives, or what?
Jill asked me a question before. He asked why Jewish people are so, he said, like smart and blah, blah, blah. People think this is the first time Muslim people or people who are against Jewish people had sanctions over us. You know what happened when the people of Jordan and Syria, when the people of Lebanon and Syria cut off our water supply?
Yeah,
We
yeah, yeah,
made
yeah. I've heard.
we made the
Yeah.
ocean water drinkable. I'm not scared of
Mm,
sanction. It is making us smarter. It is making us more, making us create more gadgets and stuff. We know how to survive, and we will survive. It is not. Even if Israel will no longer be a country, do you think we will stop inventing new things and protect ourselves?
you have many
Can you please
wars,
tell me
Hamas.
what Iran brought to this world? Name one thing
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Iran brought to this world that is beneficial to people, and don't say like not oil and stuff like that. Not something that is actually from the earth and not something they created. What was
No,
something
we
they invented that is benefiting to this world?
no. I have
I am
friends
scared
who
of
have
their.
been. I have friends who have been talking about that. If Israel
Mhm.
got defeated for one just time, it will exist. It will de-exist from the world. No,
If Israel will be what?
if Israel just got defeated, in case Israel got defeated from other Arab countries,
Mhm.
it will cease to exist from the world.
But here's the thing: Israel used to be a kingdom before, and then the
Yes, yes,
Roman
yes, yes.
Empire destroyed us.
Before the Ottoman Empire, that Israel have a community there.
No, not a community. We were a kingdom here, an
Yeah, 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 yeah,
established kingdom here.
yeah, yeah.
After that, the Roman Empire conquered us, destroyed us,
Mm,
and then the Ottoman Empire came, and then after that, we were able under the British mandate to rebuild our land. Israel is
yes,
a
yeah,
rebuild nation. It's not a new country.
yeah, yeah,
What
yeah. I
will
know, I know, I
happen
know.
if Israel will get destroyed right now?
Yes, yes. I'm talking about that.
In few years from now, Israel will rebuild itself. That is
Yes,
so easy. Because for us, what we believe, first of all, we have nowhere else to go. And we believe in the holiness of this land, and this land is important to us.
oh yeah, yeah. The technology that
Any other
Israel's are
questions?
right now using, the technology in army that right now it is using, the Golden Dome and that other part and the other technologies. The Hamas has defeated that Iron Dome technology.
Oh wait, ask the question again. I'm sorry, I couldn't understand your question.
And I'm talking about that Hamas rockets have entered the Israeli space. How?
Mm-hmm.
How? I'm talking about the Hamas has put 5,000 rockets on Israel, and
Yeah.
your defense system has not worked properly.
The defense system, the Iron Dome, is only working
Yes, yeah.
if the GPS there is saying that the rocket will enter a civilian place, a place where people are actually live, not in open places. A lot of the rocket they sent land in open area, and therefore the system didn't even operate it. You need to understand that in war, um, sometimes shield works and sometimes not.
Yes, yes. And before day after before or what, that American president has visited Israel and talked about the Israel problems and the attack on hospital.
But I explained about the hospital. Are you talking about the hospital in Israel
Yeah,
that got a rocket,
no,
or are
no,
you talking about the
hospital in
hospital?
Hamas, hospital in the Palestine area, the Gaza.
Oh, the hospital in the Gaza area, what is right now totally clear in every social media and every news source is apologizing for assuming Israel has sent rocket to destroy it.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes, the Islamic Jihad, another movement in the Gaza Strip, sent this rocket. It is really easy to see. There's more than several evidence proving that. So Israel did not send that rocket. Now, explain to me, why do you believe the terror organization that raped and murdered and shared it to the
no.
world, and all of a sudden you're just like, oh, but Israel sent rocket because the Hamas told us. Do you believe do you believe an organization that is systematically raped and killed and kidnapped and glorified this and shared it to the world? All of a sudden you believe them that they are the victims?
No, no, no,
Explain to me
no.
how this is working.
No, no. I'm just talking about that Israelis are diplomatically in a very amidami way, and diplomatically it is facing in backlash from
I'm not a
Arab world.
diplomatic person. I'm an Israeli civilian living in Israel, talking to another civilians from all over the world. I'm not a diplomat. I don't work in the government. I don't care about governments. If you've seen my videos before the
Yes,
war,
yes. I have
before
seen all your
everything,
videos.
good. So you know how much I hate governments. You know how much I think governments is a waste of tax money and how much they're forcing us to love or hate people based on their what they want. And I do not agree with this. If you see my
Ar-
video, you know where I stand with
yeah, yeah, yeah.
every government.
I'm talking about right now the Israeli people have mindset towards religion or Hamas or whole Palestine. What my hatred towards what?
I don't understand the question. I'm sorry.
Ma'am, I'm talking about that Israeli people, that common people, civilians. I'm talking
Hmm.
about they have hatred towards Hamas, a terrorist organization, or a Palestine, or whole Muslim community, or what?
We don't have hatred to people who are born in an area, because that is stupid to hate a person based on his skin color or based his ethnicity or based of whatever the color of his eyes, the way his nose is shaped. This is that we're not hating that. We're hating terror organization that is coming and slaughtering and murdering and raping people. That's
Yes,
what
yes,
we
yes,
hate, and that's what we're trying to fight. Now, you heard me explaining that Palestine is a new idea, is a new concept.
yes, yes, yes.
Why would we look at them and say like, why would we hate them? And when I talk about Islam, I'm always saying that I'm talking about radical Muslims and not people who are just born, raised, live their life peacefully, but just were born into this religion.
That radicalization of Muslim are due to their political leaders or their people or their
That's due
communities
to
like
the
that.
religion that is saying that this entire world needs to be Islamic.
Yes,
Have
yes,
you read
yes.
the Quran? What do you know about Islam?
Nothing, nothing. I'm Hindu.
Educate
I'm
yourself.
I'm Hindu. I don't know
Okay,
about
it doesn't
nothing about.
matter. If you are Hindu, you are in danger because you are not Muslim. So you need to learn about Islam and you need to understand their culture.
Right now in India, we are
Right
okay.
now in India, there are groups planning the next 26th of November. That is right now what is happening in India.
Yes, yes, yes. That
You
one
need to learn how
university
to protect yourself. That is it.
in India, all people are not with Israel. Most of the people in Twitter, YouTube, you will see that they are supporting Israel, and
It
most of the
doesn't matter. Why are you supporting Israel? Explain to me. Why are you supporting Israel? The
their
majority of you
community,
understands that if
no,
Israel will be
no,
destroyed, you guys will be next.
we are supporting, we are supporting hatred. We are supporting hatred towards terrorist organizations only. We are not supporting Israel. We are we are
Explain to me
against the
why do you not
terrorist organization.
explain to me why wait, let me understand. Do you support Hamas, yes or no?
No, no, I don't
Okay.
support
Because
Hamas.
you do know that you have a picture of a woman that will be killed based of the
Yes,
way
yes, I've
that
seen
she's
many pictures,
looking,
very gruesome
right?
pictures, very uh, other pictures I've seen, videos I've seen, and there people crying. Israel people are very in a very gruesome situation.
Everyone is in a terrible situation. We're at war. We're in a religion
Mm,
war. This is not an Israeli Palestinian. This is Islam versus the rest of the world. And if
yes,
you
yes,
think it's not Islam versus Hinduism, you're mistaken and you're in great danger.
maybe maybe our neighbor is Pakistan, and Pakistan is fully supporting Hamas and their
It's not only
uh,
about Pakistan. Do you have radical Islamic people who went outside and waved the Palestinian flag in your country?
yes, yes,
Those
not
are the
many
people
people.
you need to be scared of, not the people in the country next to you that you have a border with. You need to be scared of the people who are inside of you.
Yes, yes. Not many people. I'm talking about that most of the population is supporting Israel in Twitter, in Facebook,
Because
in
most of the
everywhere.
population understand that you guys are next.
Maybe.
It's that easy.
Mm,
If Israel will not be existed, so are you. Do you think
yes, yes.
that in like 50 years from now, do you think if Israel will not be existed, do you think the people of Bahrat will be safe? How?
No, no. That
You
Islam
need
is only.
Israel as the punching bag of Islam. I keep saying this because if we're not the punching bag of Islam, it's you. You are a Hindu, are you?
Yes, yes, I'm Hindu.
You are a Hindu. How? Why do you have so many gods? Why do you not understand that the only God is the one who's the only God and Muhammad is his
No,
prophet?
no.
If you don't agree
That's our
with this, you should be killed
religion.
according to
That's his
them.
peace. No, we Indians want peace. We Hindus want peace, but
You
Muslims
cannot
want the.
have peace. No, we don't have the privilege of having peace anymore. Every
Yes,
single
yes.
person who is not radical Muslim is in war right now, and the fact that the war is not came to your place and started to attack you, that does not mean that it's not going to happen to you. You need to understand that you are in war. You
Mm,
cannot. I know that right now you're gonna end this. You're gonna go back, watch some movies, watch another YouTube video, go have dinner, blah blah blah. Live your life. Think you're gonna live your life peacefully. 50 years from now, you will be in great danger. And I'm saying 50
mhm.
years as the longest thing. But honestly, if you think the 26th of November was the only terrible terror attacks that your country will face, I'm sorry, but you
Mm.
are mistaken.
Yes, yes. Right now, India has faced various terrorist organizations. That Pakistan, that Myanmar, everywhere. In India
No, not
also, in
other
outs.
countries, not other countries. The people who are inside your country, the people who waving the Palestinian flag right now. I don't care about Pakistan. I don't care about Myanmar. I don't care about China. Those are not the problems that you need to face. You need to face your
s-
neighbor that is going outside right now with Palestinian flags supporting the rape and slaughtering of women and children. Those are the
so
people that they will do the same thing to you. And what you're gonna tell them? Hold on, you're not Pakistani. You're not from Myanmar. What are you doing? You need to understand that you are in great danger, and the fact that you don't understand this is terrifying.
so you tell me what are the solution? What shall India do? What shall India do? What are Hindus do like, to face
Make
this?
sure, make sure you know exactly who are the people who think right now they can go outside and wave the flag, who's going to scream and shout and all that. Make sure that you know that your country is aware of those people, because when situation will be bad, those will be the people you guys need to worry about. So already
Yes.
make sure you know who they are. If they support a terror organization, make sure they will not. I do understand that. I don't know if you're in school, I don't know if you have a job, but imagine you are living in your school or in your job, you're working with a person who supports the raping and murdering of babies. Will
Yes.
you continue working next to someone
No,
like
no,
that?
no, no.
Make sure that this person will not work in your field. If you see that a person is supporting a terror organization, notify authorities. A person who is saying, I'm glad that other people are getting hurt, I wish that will happen here, that's a dangerous people.
No, no. I want to say in India, maximum population is Hindu. Like in
It
minority
doesn't
also that
matter. It doesn't matter. Do you
Muslims are
think
also
that's
there.
matter?
Muslim, Jews, Christians, all are there.
Do
In
you
India,
think
all the
a
communities are there.
rocket is knowing who is Hindu? Do you think they care?
No, no.
The fact that you are Hindus now does not change what will happen to you. Do you think Europe was Muslim 10 years ago? 10 years ago. Do you think the most of the population of of Europe was Muslim? They're
The
also
Muslim,
really
the
working
Muslim,
in demography and like making sure there will have a lot of people there.
the Muslim people are creating like 10, 12 children, and we Hindu people are
I
creating
have
only.
zero problem with people having a lot of children. I believe that children
Yes,
is blessing. However, if their culture is to bring a child to this world, to use them as human shields and to raise them to be a terrorist and to make sure they know that the most important, the most holiest thing to do is to die and kill as many non-Muslim people, that's an issue. 9/11, not 9/11, I'm sorry, you're not American, but the 26th of
yeah, yeah.
November
I
was
know
a
about
terrible terror attack.
9/11.
No, but
I know
not
about that.
only 9/11, the 26th of November was a
Yes, yes,
terrible
yes,
terror attack. But what make you be so sure you don't have people right now planning that inside of India? Because I'm
yes.
telling
Various
you, they
people.
are. They're not even hiding it. And the fact that you guys are so believing like love and respect and all that, we don't have time for that right now. This is not the time to be loving and respectful and blah, blah. This is the time to be protecting on your values.
Yes, we are aware. Hindus are aware of somewhat extent, but Muslims
Hindus
are
are not
everywhere.
aware because Hindus are not doing drastic things to make sure that radical people will not be in their country. So Hindus are not aware. It is easy to
Hmm.
say, it is really easy to comment, I support, but it is not easy to understand you are in danger. The only thing that will help you understand you are in danger is if you're going to have more terror attacks. And guess what? You will have more terror attacks if you not wake up right now.
Hmm.
I'm not only talking to you. There are a lot of people who say, no, my country is nice and everything is like things will be good. That's not what's going to happen.
That's why we have democracy. Democracy is what we are talking about.
But what will happen if you will not have democracy?
Then, then
Do
the
you
India
think
will not
they
exist.
went to countries and like first of all, the Hamas was voted in democracy way, in the democratic way.
No, 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 no.
It's not no. This is what happened. You can
I
Google it.
heard,
I'm talking
I
facts.
heard, I heard about a few days before that Hamas core commanders are not in that in that area. They are
Of
in
course not.
Qatar.
Of course not.
They are living in a luxurious life and in Qatar, Turkey, and all
But
of that
they
area.
don't exactly. The point is they are using the people there as
Yes,
shields,
yes.
and they're not even in the battlefield.
Yes,
They're
they are
sending
launching.
them to
No, no,
die.
I've also heard that they are launching rockets in the civilized area, in where all citizens are there. And when Israel send rockets, that rocket will obviously fall into that place where Palestinian people are there.
Let's break down what you just said. So when the IDF, when the Israeli Defense Force are sending a rocket, they're doing several things. First of all, at least 4 hours before, there is a plane flying over the area, throwing
Hmm.
pancakes, letting everyone know in Arabic that they need to
Hmm.
evacuate, telling them
Evacuate
exactly
from north,
where.
from north.
They're telling them exactly where. Also, they are calling every single person who is in the area because right now we can see what are based on our phones that is like actually a tracking device. They know exactly who's there and calling them, telling them to go out. They're
Yes,
not
yes,
trying to
yes.
kill people, they're trying to destroy the building where all the ammunition is. Have you ever
Uh,
wondered why the Gaza Strip has so many footage perfectly footage of like what about explosions that are happening
yes.
from the IDF by the IDF in the
Yes,
Gaza
yes,
Strip.
yes, 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 yes.
They have at least 4 hours to make sure the camera is directly at this area, working with precision.
Mm-hmm.
This is why you see those beautiful videos and beautiful images of the IDF destroying places because they
Yes,
were
yes.
notified before hours.
I have one
Do
last
you think
question.
the
One last
Hamas is
question.
notifying us when they're sending rockets?
No,
That's
no,
our
no.
reality.
Yes, yes. I have one last question. One last question.
Sure.
That in Egypt, Jordan, and that all the part of area that Palestine, they are refusing the refugees from Gaza area. Why? Why Egypt is not accepting the people from Gaza?
First of all, they are not by 100 because I think like the Gaza Strip are like what 2 million people, something like this. So they're not letting the
Mm,
entire population enter. However,
mm,
they are. But you also need to remember that those are people who are born, raised, and believe that they are victims. Now, if a person believes that he's a victim all the time, he will never do something that is actually
um,
helping. He will never be a part of a solution. He will always be a problem. He will always expect people to help him.
yes,
And
yes, yes.
the other countries, they just don't want another liability. And many other things
Mm,
that honestly, like I said, I'm not in the government. I don't know why. It's their decision.
mm. Thank you for today.
Sure. Do me a favor,
Mm.
please change your picture because I don't know this female. I don't know if this is an actor or not, but just like be yourself, be proud of who you are. Don't
No, no,
use.
it's my sister who put the picture. I'm using the my sister account.
Oh, okay. Tell her I said
Thank
hi.
you.
She's more than welcome to join and actually have a conversation. I love also talking to females because females, sorry, man, but females understand way better problematic situations.
Okay, okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for joining. Okay, let's see who's next. Uh, whoever want to join need to unmute themselves. I feel like I kept saying this again and again. Arjun, I'm letting you on. Unmute yourself. Good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. First of all, we stand with Israel, and what Israel is facing today, India will face tomorrow. Because I understand this war. This is third time I communicating with you. 3 years back, we had a communication. I hope
I
you
know.
remember.
I'm really happy to see you again.
Yeah,
Remind me, you
and
used to be a teacher, right? Something like that?
yes, yes,
See?
I
I
really,
remember you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So if you might recall that I told you that time that we have a common enemy. Israel and India had a common enemy.
Mm-hmm.
And India's situation is even more dangerous because your enemy is in Gaza, but our enemy is within the boundary. The amount of support for Hamas we are we have seen inside the India, it is very dangerous for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this is not a land dispute; this is a religious war. And this war, because my concept is very much clear, this war is Islam versus rest of the world. And what Israel is facing today, we will face tomorrow, and our situation is even more dangerous. And so my concept is very, very clear. And we are not supporting Israel. because this war is not only between Israel and Hamas. This war is between terrorism and civilization. The civil, the civil society, the human beings, those who believe in other, those who respect other religions, and those who uh, fully believe that only my religion is correct, others are, their religions are not valuable, or they are not deserve to be live in this world. I know there are certain kind of people are there in this world those who feel, those who clearly claim that only their religions are only religion. Other religions are means they are not respecting, and other religions they should not live in this planet. Even I found many YouTube videos, many people talking like that. Why Jewish people living in that area? They should not live in this world, in this earth. They should go to the moon. So this kind of mentality, uh, even and there is no radical Islam word is exist. There is only Islam exist, and most important things what I have noticed that next 10 years, the petroleum, the economy of the Middle East basically fully rely on the petroleum, the oil, and the kind of electric vehicle and alternative fuels. There are lots of research work is going on, and we all countries, Europe, India, America, Europe, the United States, they all are migrating from the conservative fossil oil to electric vehicle. So slowly and gradually, maybe after 10 years, 15 years down the line, we will see that the moment other countries, all other the world, they reduce their dependency on the fossil fuel. So we will see the new world order will be there. There is so many countries. I have many connections with other countries also, and they all are agree that because they are depending on the fuel, they are not independently taking their decision. They want to support Israel, but because they are depending on the fuel, and
Yeah.
they all start realizing that what Israel is facing today, they will face tomorrow. Because the terrorism we had faced with this situation 2008, the 26/11, and 9/11. Even I covered all the terrorist attacks. Israel, maybe the situation is different. India, the situation is different. But the people who act this kind of terrorism act, they are taking Islam as their shield. And every time they ask other Islamic forces to come and join them. This is the same. This pattern is same. Even now today, but other countries, the Hamas and the Iran, who is actively participating in this problem. Iran calling all Islamic forces to come and join there. So it is not a land dispute between Israel and Palestine. Even if it is a Palestine issue, other countries should not interfere in this. And if it is a land dispute, then why they are using their religion here? So my concept is very very clear. It is not a land dispute. It is clearly a war between Islam and rest of the world. And because I know they may be in front of other people, they are talking differently, but internally they don't like Jewish people. They will not allow to live there. And the kind of attack they have attacked in Israel, if Israel, because of Israel, so many advanced defense systems and because of their intelligence agency, Israel is surviving. Otherwise, they could have been wipe out Israel in 10 times. So Israel has the full rights to protect their. Israel has rights to defend Israel. If Israel can take any action to protect Israel, it is justifiable. Justice. Justice. Every country has rights to protect. Every country has rights to defend them. I don't know Hebrew, but I can understand your feelings. When a mother cries, when a father cries, when a daughter abducted, what kind of pain a father can. Please, I understand that. And in India, we are in more danger. Even 95% Hindu, they still do not recognize the actual threat. They thought that Pakistan is a problem, but Pakistan is another country. The amount of threat Pakistan can impose, there could be a threat. But the people inside the India, those who are supporting Hamas, those who are supporting in this issue, they are big threat because they are very close to us. So anyhow, in this matter with Israel, India with us, India support Israel. Even because I am living here, I know people supporting Israel. But there is a surprise and shocking that equally support for Hamas also. They are not taking this name Hamas. They are supporting Palestine. But yeah, one very important thing I would like to discuss: how we can distinguish between Hamas and Palestine. How we can distinguish? This is the biggest question. Nobody is talking in this matter. How one can distinguish between Hamas and Palestine? We support Palestine, but not support Hamas. How we can distinguish? If a Hamas terrorist is launching a rocket from the basement, why are the Palestinian people not opposing that? Why don't they call the rest of the world that come here? We don't want this Hamas to be here. If Hamas people using school, hospital as a base to launch rocket towards Israel, how Israel can distinguish? It is the people of Palestine. They should clearly make a distinguish between us, between them and Hamas terrorists. If they, if you are not against wrong, it means you are part of wrong. Palestinian people should distinguish themselves from Hamas terrorists. Otherwise, for Israeli defense forces, it is very difficult for Israeli defense forces to distinguish that this is a Hamas, this is a Palestine, because they mix together. Until Palestine people make a separation between Hamas people, Hamas terrorists, and themselves, they should come forward and tell rest of the world that because of Hamas we are facing this issue. Come to our country, just we separate them. This is the Hamas, this is the rest of the Palestinian people. Because now what happens every time when Israeli defense forces attack, when people kill, there is a lot of human rights issues, common people die. But how a defense people can make a distinction? If suppose a basement is using by terrorists to launch a rocket, to launch a missile, definitely if a defense person hit that place, he has to hit. He cannot take this decision. So when the people who is living in that area, how they allow a terrorist organization to use that place as a rocket launching basement. So it is first the responsibility of Palestine people to make themselves a separate identity other than Hamas. If there is a Hamas in between Palestine, they Palestine people also treated as a Hamas terrorist. They should come forward. They should ask the rest of the people that we are not part of Hamas. Hamas is not representing us. We are separate. And don't allow Hamas people to use their building, use their school, use their hospital as a base for terrorism. If they are allowing them, then they have to pay the penalty. This is what's happening today. And I don't know why this particular issue is not discussing in any forum. If you are allowing terrorists to use your home, definitely you will get killed next day. So I think this is
Well,
the
we do
biggest
need to
question.
remember that they are also hostages. They're a lot of the time people are forcing them to do this, unfortunately. It's not that they're, willing. A lot of them are willing because a lot of them believe this is the most important you know, thing to kill as many non-Muslim people, but a lot of them are being to forced to being used as human shield. Is this reporter from Lebanon. She's Christian, and she escaped Lebanon. I think she's in London. I'll find it out. I'll post it. She is explaining how she was used when she was 10 years old, a Christian girl in Lebanon, how she was used as a human shield and what they did to her. this is something really important to understand. Like you said, it's not just Jewish person, Jewish people versus uh, Judaism versus Islam. It's
I know, I know.
Islam taking advantage of every single
Yes,
person who's not
yes,
the right radical Islamic way, according to them.
yeah, true. Actually, every time when there is an attack, the last, I think, last 5, 6 years, there are so many times the Hamas attack on Israel, and every time the same situation happen. When Israel hit back, so many human rights organizations are start shouting. This is quite obvious. But how the Hamas people are using that land, the Palestine land, how it happen? That the local peoples don't know about that. They should come forward because ultimately, when Hamas is using the Palestine land against Israel, it is quite obvious that that next day Israel will hit back. That is quite obvious. Every time Israel has to take that much drastic response. So why don't that people come forward and ask the rest of the world that come to our place and save us, save Palestine, not from Israel, save Palestine from Hamas. If they are really not a part of Hamas, if they are part of Hamas, I have nothing to say. So it is my this message to all the Palestine people. If they are not supporting Hamas, if they are not part of Hamas, come forward, ask the rest of the world, United Nations force, come down to Palestine, save us not from Israel, save us from Hamas, because it is the Hamas who is responsible for killing people in Palestine. Israel, because they attack on Israel, Israel has rights to protect their citizens, and it is the right of every country to protect their civilians, their peoples.
Exactly.
So this is my message to Palestine people: come forward, ask rest of the world. If not Israel, the United Nations force to stand to the Palestine, and just that this particular thing has to be very much very clear, that who is Hamas and who is Palestine. If they are same, if there is same people who is Palestine, they are in the part of Hamas, then what Israel is doing is completely justifiable. You can justify that thing. If there is a separation between Hamas and Palestine, there has to be a demarcation. No, this is the Hamas, this is the Palestine. Otherwise, simply people shouting that is the human right issues, normal people killing, the children are died, women, females are died. Then what happened? Who means if a defense forces, if a fighter pilot is having an order to hit that building because that building is using by the Hamas terrorists, then he has to order obey the order. If that land is using for terrorists, why the other people, those who are surrounding by that building, why they don't come forward? They have to come forward and raise this voice that this building is using for terrorist activity. We are not supporting it. Why they are living there? If the same building is using for living purpose and same building is using for terrorist activity, then they have to pay the cost. This is what actually happening today. And my concept is very clear. This is not a war between Israel and Hamas. This is the Islamic fundamentalism between and rest of the world. Today Israel, tomorrow India. So we are not supporting Israel. We are supporting a power because we have a common enemy. We are not supporting Israel. We are supporting us, those who are in the next side of the radical Islamism.
I agree with everything you said. You know what? You guys see me that I'm interrupting all the time and like, saying my mind and like talking truth to you. Um, I agree with a lot of the things you said. And I'm glad that you, as a person who work in the educational field, is identifying it and hopefully will make sure you guys will be protected and your children will be protected. Every when I'm saying children, I'm not just saying your own children biologically. I'm saying every child that you are teach We believe that like it is your child because you educate them, you raise them, you making them be better people. I really hope they're all going to be safe. That's just
And when I saw people crying in the Jews in Israel, literally that moment was these moments are very painful for me also. I'm not Jewish, I'm not Israeli, I don't know Hebrew, but when a father crying for his daughter, I can understand the pain. When a mother crying for his son, the pain is same. When girls are abducted by terrorists, the pain I can understand. I don't know why people are having misconception that this fight is between Israel and Hamas. No, today they Israel is hitting by terrorism, but the terrorism is hitting every other part of the world. It's a different name. We are facing uh, Lashkar-e-Taiba, Hizbul Mujahideen, different name, but actually they are same, with different name.
I
They
agree
all
with
are
you.
same. Their patterns are same. Every time they call all the Islamic forces to join us, this fight is between Islam and Kafir. So we all are Kafir. For them, we are also Kafir, Jews are also Kafir. And they want to kill every Kafir. There is no land dispute. Sorry, I know I am very much clear that this is not a land dispute between Israel and Palestine. They
I
don't
agree.
like to see you in this planet, in this earth.
This is
Same
what
with
I'm
us
always
also.
saying. You need Israel and you need Jewish people to be the punching bag of the Islamic world, or else you will be the punching bag.
Yes,
It's
yes,
that
yes.
easy. You need to be
Yeah,
careful.
yeah, yeah, definitely. But we Indian people should learn this lesson from this incident. Today is Israel, but tomorrow we will face this problem. And our problem is even more dangerous because there is no Gaza Strip in India. But the people, those who are supporting Hamas, they are in between us. They could be in my next doorstep. They are
Hmm.
mixing with us. Otherwise, how they support Hamas and why they support Hamas? India is also victim of terrorism. They should condemn because only the terrorists are belonging to their religion. They are supporting. This is a very dangerous pattern. If you are not against the wrong, it means you are part of wrong. You have to come forward and say, I am against wrong. No matter whether he belong to my community or my religion. If he is wrong, he is wrong. But here people are supporting because their religions are same. Israel will win this war.
I
I
really
know.
hope so, or else you guys are in big problem.
No, you will win the war. Israel has to win this war. Otherwise, the humanity, the Israel will win the war, no matter how long it will take. But because this time, I realized that it will take time to uh, stop this war. This time, war will not, because there is a different perspective for this problem is the oil economy. There is hardly 10 years. After 10 years, the oil economy will not be that much influence the world economy. Countries are very, very fast moving towards the alternative source of energy, electric vehicles, solar energy, and hydrogen. Today, India is depending a lot for oil economy because we are depending on the oil too much. So, because it influences our foreign policy. I hope you understand it. And this is not only for us. This problem is belong to other countries also. Because of oil dependency, India is not taking their independent foreign policy. Otherwise, we are with because the Indian society is fully support Israel, but still they don't know why they are supporting Israel. If you ask the same question with just before that why you are supporting Israel? No, we are not supporting Israel because we know that who is hitting Israel today, he is the common enemy of India also. If not Israel, we will face this problem, and we will face this problem in the next 2 years more drastically. We are facing this problem last, I think, more than 1,000 years. We are facing this problem, and the same Islamic terrorism problem we are facing. Every other platform, news channels, people are supporting Hamas, different name. They are not even ready to condemn Hamas, what Hamas is doing. They directly jump to the problem that why Israelis grab the land of Palestine. They directly jump to 1948, that Israel come and occupy the place of Palestine.
Never
They
an
they are using,
occupation. That was something, first of all, again, I'm sorry. Because when you use words like that, legitimize those words. Israel used to be a kingdom before the Arab Muslim world occupied the Middle East and North Africa in the 7th century. And after that, Israel has been given the option to rebuild itself
yeah, I
with
know.
the approval of a lot of countries uh, when it was put up to vote in UN. This is something very very important to say. And when people say after 48 in 67 after the war we were able to make our size the country size a little bigger. We called free our territory because this was again part of our kingdom. This was not occupation. In war, if you fight in a war, everything like and someone and soldiers are being able to push you away from an area, it's their area. It's something that happens in every single country who has a war. But all of a sudden when people talk about Israel, it's like, oh no, that's not okay. Why? And when we say able to push out, those people who lived in those area pushed out the Jewish people from those area. You can
I
see
know,
it
I know.
from, you want to talk about occupation, let's talk about Syria. Let's talk about Lebanon. Let's talk about Africa,
Yeah,
Libya, Egypt, to Tunis, like all of those places, Morocco. Do you think those places were Arab places, Islamic Arab places? That was an occupation. And the genocide that happened there, not only to Jewish people, you can search and see the population and the groups of people, the ethnic groups of people who are in those areas and what happened to them. That slowly, slowly, for some weird reason, all the other ethnic groups who are not Arabs and all the other religions who are not Islam has disappeared for some reason. You need always to question why and to see what happened. And then when you talk about occupation, to see who is the real person who occupied so many places and
yes,
did a
yes,
genocide to so many other nations, not only Jewish.
yeah, yeah. There could be a different religion. In Israel, there is a Jewish people. In Iran,
Israel
the
has a lot of
Zoroastrian
people who
people.
are not Jewish, by the way.
Yes,
Israel
yes.
is a democratic state who has people from
I
all
know, I know. There is a
over,
Muslim people also living there. There are Arab
yeah,
people are living there.
serving the army, being a part, a productive part, condemning Hamas, a lot of them. Israel is the only democratic state in the Middle East. How terrifying is that for
Yes,
every single person who's not, in Israel?
I know that. Even that what even that nobody is ready to understand because they are using history according to their own convenience. They are
Mhm.
just go to 1948, not beyond. Because I know Israel is belong to Jewish people since the 12th century and even before. Because I recall the history from 7th century, 700th century. Jewish peoples are originate from that land and they are native for that land and it is their land.
And also, if we're
But
not talking about whose land is this, who is giving people who are not like them uh,
hmm,
freedom and equal rights and everything? If we're not talking about who owns this land, which place in which place people who are not part of the majority can live peacefully and have the
Yeah,
same equal rights and have the same job opportunities, everything. The only area is Israel. That's even before we're talking about who owned this land, because I will keep saying this is my people land. However, if we're not talking about land, if we're talking about freedom, if we're talking about being able to practice your religion and practice your like culture, as long as it's not harmful and you're not hurting other people, Israel is the only country that is allowing you to do that,
yeah, I
even if
understand.
you're not the majority.
I know. Even in India, if you recall, I think we have since last 1200th century, Jewish people living in India, other part. And this thing, I thought that some platform I definitely mentioned that in India there is never any conflict between Jews and Hindu people. They never conflict anywhere because both communities believing that to believe in God or some religion, it is completely your personal choice. No other should interfere. And we have no rights to call and ask other people, do this, don't do that. It is your choice. Religion is your choice. Nobody should interfere. And the conflict begins when you start talking like that. Only my God and my belief is correct. Your God, your belief, your God is wrong God. This statement is the beginning of terrorism. The origin of
Hmm.
terrorism is that my God is correct. My religion is only correct religion. Your faith, your religion has no meaning. And you people are not deserved to be living. You do not deserve to be lived. Even in the many YouTube channels, even open news debate, many Muslim scholars are telling that why Jews living in that area? That area belongs to Arab people. They should leave that place and go to United States or in the moon. This is their feelings. They have very clear concept. And I know Jews are also very clear concept. The problem with the Hindu people, they still thought that Pakistan is a problem, or this time the problem is in the Middle East. No, the problem is everywhere. What happened in Turkey? Why in Turkey the Israeli ambassador is threatened? Why Israelis call all their ambassadors from other countries? Problem is everywhere. What happened in France, in Germany, in China? In China, the Israeli ambassador has attacked. Why it happened? Why it happened? This mentality is a terrorism. Terrorist is not a person. It's a mentality. Terrorism is a mindset. Why Jews are attacked everywhere in this world? Why in France? Why in Germany? Why in Turkey? And the Hamas people, they killed everyone. They killed 12 Nepali, I think 15, 16 Thailand people. And they are such a coward people. They are defending themselves. They use human shield and human shield for their own females and their kids. They are using a human shield. They should come forward and fight with the Israeli defense forces. If they are really a fighter, what they call jihadi, if they are really a jihadi, they should come forward and fight with the Israeli defense forces. How why they are using human shield of their own kids and their own females? They are not defense forces. They are not a fighter. They are coward. They are not even terrorists. We cannot call them terrorists. They are really a coward people. And this is simply a mentality, a mindset. Those who support Hamas, they are kind of Hamas people, and they should be treated as the Hamas treated by the forces. Those who support Hamas, they should be treated as a Hamas, as a terrorist. This fight is not between Israel and Hamas. This fight between good and bad, right and wrong.
You know
India
what?
is
I
dealing.
feel
Yeah,
like I want to host you in other live stream or something when it just you also educate me about your about the education system about that. But I feel like your opinions are really important, and I love hearing other people saying like stuff like this. I just feel like maybe like I want to give you a platform, like a bigger platform to do it. So, do you have Instagram or something like that?
Mm, Instagram, I have not yet created. I will create it.
Make sure send me a message on Instagram. We'll book a time where we'll do this again live stream, and there we'll talk about a lot of things because it is interesting for me to hear what an educator think, and I want to give this like more attention. Um,
Happy.
yeah, so just like let me know. Send me a message,
Sure.
let me know. I will ask you to send like a picture or do some voice call, a video call with me to make sure it's actually you and no one else is like saying it's you and then, lying because the internet is a
I understand. I
problematic
understand.
place. Um,
Even what we are discussing now, it is also going viral. Actually, whenever I talk and I come to any conclusion, I check 360 degree of that concept before reaching that concept. That's why I am very much very clear in this concept. In every TV debate, I am watching that people are moving around the problem. They not come to the specific problem. So until you discuss 360 degree, you never come to the conclusion. Because
mhm.
normally my profession is we are doing 360 degree analysis of every problem. Until you reach the root cause of the problem, you will not eradicate the problem. You are
This is
moving
why I
around the
said
problem.
I want to give you a bigger platform, not in this live stream, because
Sure,
I
sure.
do believe it is something that will be interesting to talk about. Not only about this, also like I said about Balat and the education and stuff. Any last questions or last statement?
I am happy that you remember my last conversation.
Of course, dude. Of course, an educator in my stream. Come on. I think
I will
it's
send you message.
beautiful that people are actually, again, from the educational field, are willing to talk to other people because I know right now you will teach your students in a different way. You will not teach them to hate, you will teach them to explore. And this is why it's absolutely beautiful.
Otherwise, we will not protect our future. I think education
Hmm.
is the most powerful way to fight against wrong, to fight within wrong within us, because we always fight with others, but we are not ready to fight with our own wrong.
Yeah.
So once you win yourself, then you can win others also.
I agree. Well, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you joining. Seriously, every time you join, and just like you see, I'm quiet. I'm actually listening. How amazing is this guy? This person is making me be quiet and listen, and you know how difficult it is for me. So thank you so much.
Actually,
I appreciate it.
what you are trying to convince to other people, normally I am listening every time. I am a good listener basically. I am always
That's
a good
great.
listener. When people talk, I am trying to listen, and what they are trying to explain, what they are trying to understand with someone, I am trying to listen between two words, between two sentences. But people are not actually able to converse. There is something between sentence.
Yeah. So I'm
All
just
right.
gonna drink water because I was listening a lot and not talking, and my voice is like, oh, what's happening? You didn't work on that. You didn't train yourself well. Anyway, thank you so much for joining. I
Thank you.
really
Thank you very much.
appreciate it. And yeah, don't be a stranger. Let me
And
know on Instagram.
give my big salute to Israeli Defense
Oh,
Forces.
we're saluting. Yeah, let's go back to the army days.
And one thing I would like to discuss here, how the defense intelligence has failed this time.
I
Because
don't
I
know. I'm
know
not
it
in
is,
there. I'm a citizen. I don't know.
but this is the really big concern because
I
Israel is
agree.
under threat. Israel is under threat, not today, last 670 years. This
I
is not
agree. This is a major issue and this is a major problem. They will look at, I'm sure we will have to ask ourselves questions about this, but not right now. Right now,
sure,
we're
I
more
understand.
focusing on
I
letting our
understand.
people survive and
I
make
understand.
sure the terror organization will no longer be a thing.
I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let's see who else, guys. Let's like I said, you guys need to be unmuted. Adi, you were here in a while. I'm letting you join. What's up?
Hi,
Hi.
Shalom. I'm doing well, and yeah,
Uh,
I know you are sick of people asking question. How are you?
no, 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 no,
But
no. Hold on. My channel is to make sure civilians will talk to each other, ask questions. I'm asking you guys question all the time about Baharat. Like
mhm,
that. This is important.
yeah, I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to see that you are doing well and you're safe in this conflict. Yeah, so
I'm
thank
not
you.
safe and I'm not doing well, but like, yeah.
Uh, yeah, but still, I think what you're doing, I think, is really a courageous thing, and
Thank
yeah,
you.
I hope that this helps the problem of the misinformation and disinformation war on the internet. Yeah, uh,
Finger
so
crossed.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, first of all, actually, I know there was a lot of talk, discussion about Hamas and all. So maybe I want to kind of frame my questions from a different perspective. So first one, I think what I wanted to kind of talk was regarding the ideology and the impact of the ideology in this particular warfare because actually growing up I would kind of consider myself to be a little bit on the economic left of the society. That's why I kind of grew up watching most of the left channels, essentially grew up consuming most of the left media. And at that time, because the alternative was the right wing was mostly compared with fascism, right? And yeah, it didn't really make sense. And since India was also a left country for most of the time, I think that kind of sets the perspective of my entire worldview in a sense. And
Mm-hmm.
one thing that this war that kind of brought open was I was really surprised to see, let's take Hamas, which is a right wing terrorist organization, and let's take maybe channels like CNN, BBC, which are supposed to be left wing, right? So it was really, really kind of interesting to see the narrative being formed here, where leftist media are actually supporting ultra rightist action, which was initially a bit of paradox to me, and but now actually looking and consuming a lot of content and trying to kind of shape my own opinion. I
Mm-hmm.
think I'm kind of coming to a point where the left and right have gone so extreme that they're actually very close to each other now. Because I think there's a saying that the political left and right is something like a horseshoe. The farther left and right you are, right, you are closer to each other. And I think for me that's the only thing that can kind of explain what's happening in the media landscape right now. And
Mm-hmm.
and also, as you say, they're saying that as you get older you also tend to be right wing, right? Because maybe of economic benefits and such. But at the same time, the another alternative narrative that I'm also hearing is regarding I know that President Netanyahu was not that popular because of his reforms that he was trying to bring in, and they were considered like right wing reforms. uh, and I know that there was a lot of support for and protest against him, right? And some people are actually trying to say that, so what Netanyahu tried to do was something to safeguard Israel, because now because now the left wing actually holds the power for influencing a lot of policies and setting the narrative, essentially, like we see happening, right? So the entire world's left wing is completely aligned and is doing kind of a very kind of directed campaign where a lot of people are using the same talking points from each other. With this context, my question actually was, does Israeli people now think that having a right-wing government going forward might be a safer choice for Israel compared to accepting left-wing? Because some people are also saying that this might be the end of his Mr. Netanyahu's political career as well.
Well, first, like you say, radical people are radical people. It doesn't matter if they're right or left wing. They
Mhm,
will they will use those right and left thing as an excuse for their radical behavior. But it's
mhm,
not. They're dangerous people in both fields. Um, right now, personally, if you've seen my videos, you know I think governments should not be so big. I don't think government should be right or left. Like it should have equal amount of people and a lot of people in the middle, in the middle, because the purpose is to make sure that that the people in this country will be able to live their life in a better way. The government's supposed to make sure people will be able to live in this uh, area. And I don't see a lot of governments, not only in Israel, like I don't see governments in the world who are caring about making sure people are being, you know, a lot of times it's just like people who work in the government only care about themselves, and not about the people who voted them to be in charge. So honestly, I don't know. I don't know what that will mean to Benjamin Netanyahu, our current prime minister. Um, I'm seeing the riots that was against him were because of things I personally don't think all of the riots were justified. I think it is important to criticize your leaders, because if a leader is 100% perfect, it means he's 100% not perfect. Like it means there are a lot of things that are being hidden. And um, in our Bible, in the Jewish Bible, the Torah, every leader from every single leader that the Jewish people have, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, every one of them, from the beginning to the end, every one of them was, even if he was the purest man and a hero and all of that, it is mentioned that he did one or two things that were really messed up. Because the point is to make us not glorify people and to look at them and say they were people. That's what they were. Um, and I think this is something really, really important, because we need to make sure, um, we need to understand that there's no such thing as a person who is perfect, especially if you are in a leader place. And it is important to criticize every person who's in power, Modi ji included, by the way, guys, because this is how you're making sure those people are um, keeping in mind the things that you want and the things that will supposed to make you guys be safe and be better and make your country great.
Yeah, yeah. I think I agree with you, because, like you say, every human has can and will make mistakes, and it's really important to have proper checks and balances, so that if one person is trying to make a mistake, at least the other people or a system provides an
Hmm.
opportunity and platform to kind of challenge that position. But yeah, understood. Thank you for your answer.
Of
My
course.
next question actually was related to the geopolitics. So based on the media that I have been following for the past week,
Yeah,
I
just to
think.
be clear, I'm not a geopolitical person, and I feel, and I keep saying that people who are geopolitical people who are standing behind that statement are terrible people that don't care about humanity and only care about hitting agendas. Just
uh,
like to be clear, but yeah, because I want you to know where my answer will come from.
Yeah, I understand. Because this is the kind of external narrative that I'm seeing on the internet, right? Also wanted to
Hmm.
kind of hear your thoughts, because you know the situation much better than people who are looking at it from the outside. But the kind of the narrative that at least I'm kind of speaking up is right, like in this, because idea found the weaponry from various countries, including North Korea, even China, and even I think Turkey as well, I believe. And because of this huge mass protests that have erupted all over the world, it has been coordinated to a very, very large extent. And the narrative that is building up externally is like, so this is because to open a two front war, one with Ukraine and Russia, and other one with the Middle East now with Israel and Hamas, to
Hmm.
make sure that US is engaged in both the cases. And Iran is actually essentially trying, because US is there to kind of as act as a check against Iran, and because Iran might have potentially acquired nuclear weapons as well. and so that is the kind of narrative that is being built up in the this thing. So I
I
wanted
love
to
how
know.
people always care about nuclear weapons. Like,
Yeah.
this is, if there will be a nuclear weapon that will launch on you, you will be dead. That is it. You will die, and that is it. The
Yeah.
problem, what you need to be scared of, is from terror attacks and people who are systematically will hurt you.
Hmm.
Like, you're gonna, like, in a bomb, there is a bomb, it kills you, you're dead, boom, that is it. In terror attacks and in life under terror, you're full of fear constantly.
Hmm.
And people waving the, like, bombs all the time, like, enough with this. Just send the freaking bomb. You have a bomb, use it. You know what will happen after that? There will still going to be people in this world that you're gonna have to deal with.
Yeah, right. So because the problem with having uncontrolled power is that they can be irrational actors, right? So I don't think US is actually going. Iran has the potential or capability to bomb US, but still they can actually kind of take hostage of other countries. Like let's say we are going to bomb Saudi instead, then
Hmm.
Saudi's position is going to kind of weaken there. But like that's how essentially the geopolitics narrative, at least the one that I'm exposed to, is kind of building up. Uh, but in because again, Israel is also a very small country, right? So and there is also
And
saying
we're
that.
not trying to be bigger. We just want
Mhm.
our lands back. That is it. We're not trying to be a big country and everything. And if you want to know what are their borders, it is just like
Yeah.
it is
Uh,
written.
Yeah, and do you think that when Mr. Netanyahu said that Israel is going to be on the is going to be preparing for a long war, like
Hmm.
how long do you think it's going to be, especially given this external geopolitical threats? How long do
As
you think?
long as it takes. As long as
Okay.
it takes. This is not a war against uh, just the Hamas. And when people are scared of World War III and not realizing you guys are already in it, and
Mhm.
soon it will enter your homes, that's just sad. Seriously.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
will be a terrible war. A lot of people will be killed. A lot of people will be living under terror. A lot of people will, the people who will survive will have a post trauma. I don't know if I'm going to survive, okay? I don't know if I'm going to be alive when this war will get to an end. I don't know if this war will end,
Mm.
but I'm using whatever I can to make sure that somewhere someone will hear that we fight and where we weren't coward and we didn't like immediately, change ourselves to make sure we will survive because that's not surviving.
Yeah, yeah. Like essentially, I don't think having a life is what you mean when we say we live on to live. It's also the expression that the life finds. I think that's the most important thing. And
Hmm.
if you're constantly under fear, I don't think that's a life worth living as well. But yeah, I do understand your position. Thank you for that. I have two more questions. I want to kind of wrap it up quickly so that other people can
Sure.
also join. So next question was related to the narrative that is being built in Gaza, and some of the questions that people are asking is right. Okay, why isn't Egypt or any other Arab countries that are in so support of Palestine? Why are they not accepting the people? And the counter narrative for that is, well, people try to accept them, but yeah, because they are a radical bunch and nobody wants those radical people.
Ask
And
them.
yeah, and I
Find an
understood.
Egyptian YouTuber and go ask them. Like I'm always saying, go talk to also a Palestinian person. Don't just listen to me and then say, okay, whatever she said, I agree. And go educate yourself. Talk to as many people with a lot of different lifestyle and different cultures and ethnicities and religion, and like educate yourself and don't choose sides.
Mhm.
You need to learn. You need to educate yourself. You need to understand that the truth is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, yeah. So given these circumstances, right? I think what because this was something that US had believed. The idea, I think, the principle was like, okay, let's say you have a poor country who are radicals, you educate them, and by educating them, you are going to bring them out of poverty, and as their lifestyle increases, they are going to be much more like less radical, because there's no incentive to be for you to radical if you are not always in the survival mode, right?
That is a Western way to look at things.
Ah,
That
okay.
is a Western way to look at things. In reality, if your religion and culture is glorifying jihad and glorifying killing in the name of God and taking as many people who are not the right way of radical Muslims with you, it
Hmm.
doesn't matter. We had terror attacks committed by people who are, lived their life, who had finished their master degrees and all that. This is a really way of like, oh, I'm gonna give him money and then he will see how great life is, blah blah. But that's not true. If that person 5 times a day going to pray, but actually hearing that he should be, the highest thing to do, the biggest thing to do in his world and in his life is to sacrifice his life and to take others with him. It doesn't matter how much money you have.
Hmm.
Just like in the beginning, I spoke about how radical Islam say that music is a tool that was by the devil, and this is why they're not allowing a lot of music.
Hmm.
They're slowly, they're taking over everything that is bringing joy and explaining to you how this is not, this is the devil. The devil is trying to confuse you with like a lot of money, with good food and good stuff. All you need to do is to sacrifice your soul.
Yeah.
You need to be free from this world, this earth world full of material things. You need to free yourself, and you need to take as many people as you can. The people who are not agreeing, the people who still think the material thing is holy. That's
Hmm.
their mentality. Western people think that with love, affection, and hugs, and like teddy bears and all that, things will be good. It's not. It is
Yeah.
clearly like false, and this is because they're saying they're educated, they're saying they're open-minded, but at the end of the day they're not willing to actually learn about other people's culture and to understand that some people live different life than them from them.
Yeah, that's 100%. I completely agree with that, because a lot of the radicalism that we are seeing is also, I think, in the US media, which is very apparent, which wherein if you are just, if you believe in ideology without questioning it, like no matter what, you're always going to be stuck there. And the problem, I think, is that if you are inside it, you can't really come out of it. The only way to come out of it is you have to consider, at least you have to think that I might be wrong. If you are not capable of thinking that you might be wrong, and if you think that you're always correct, then yeah, I do agree that you're going to be stuck in a trap, something like that. um Sorry, let me actually go back to my question as well. So
Mhm.
now that I think, at least in the, I think my idea was like, until now the policy towards Gaza was to slowly like empower them, so that they could again come out of, break out of this chain, and they could again kind of normalize back into society. But if education does not work, if again aid does not work, because it goes into just few people who don't even live in the country, in that case, after this particular ends, like what do you think should be the strategy, or should be the approach that Israel approaches, or Israel kind of adopts towards the Gazan population?
I don't know. Right now the thing in my mind is that I want the people who are held hostage there will be free. And by the way, the people who are right now kidnapped are not the only kidnapped people. We have a kidnapped civilian about Abel Mengistu. We have a kidnapped soldiers there way before this war,
Hmm.
and we still don't know if they're alive. Hamas is making fun of Abel Mengistu's mother. They keep calling her, telling her terrible things about her son and hang it up. Like she's such a strong woman who's dealing with all of that. I don't know what will be the approach to the people in the Gaza Strip. The people who are older, the people who were alive before 2005
Hmm.
used to live under, like, used to be a part of Israel. Israel has given this uh, part of the land as a peace offering. We actually gave a place, a part of us, uh, to because foolishly enough, as again a Western point of view, they thought the government and the USA like pushed us. They thought this will bring peace. Like, okay, here you have your place, build your own nation. And Israel is the one who's providing electricity to the Gaza Strip, provide clear water, humanitarian aid. I know people say, "Oh, the money is going to from Qatar, this, and this." Where do you think it's going? It's going to Israeli area, and then the trucks are entering. Um, the trucks are entering the Gaza Strip. But make sure, like, see that the people themselves for the let's say 5 years. I'm not sure if 10, but let's say 5 years. There was no new hospital, new school, new kindergarten, nothing. How like do you understand what those people like care about? Not just the people who are um so like I said, people who were born before 2005 know what it's like to live under being a member of Israel. Whether they decide to go back to what it was when they had equal right, that is great. If not, there's so many other places their ethnicity has occupied. But
Yeah.
my land and my people will try to continue being here and provide this area as a peace area and a place where everyone has equal rights in it. Doesn't matter if you're a Muslim, doesn't matter if you're Christian, if you're Hindu, doesn't matter if you don't believe there is a God. If you're a flat earther, I don't care. You are human and therefore you are a part of us.
Mm, mm. Understood, and I hope that and hope and wish that the other party also tries to see reason in this, because like I said earlier, right, if you are brainwashed, it's really difficult to come out. Maybe again,
Mhm.
this might take even generations to go kind of normalize, but yeah, at the end of the day, I think I do hope that some sort of peace in established with it, because I know this is a difficult question for the government as well, because and I think that's why there is a lot of hesitation when the question becomes too much difficult, and if there's no competent leaders, then yeah, everybody starts blaming each other, and it slows the entire thing down. Thanks a lot for answering that. And yeah,
Hold on,
I think
you're breaking up a little bit. Can you repeat what you just said?
sorry. What I said was like I know the question, the problem about the Gaza at the moment is very difficult for the government as well, and when the problem gets difficult of like problem gets difficult, usually there's no clear answer of clear approach of what to do, and when that happens, usually the systems democratic system starts breaking down, because nobody knows what to do next, and everybody just keeps on like trying to put the shift the blame onto other people. So hopefully and I think that is one of the reason as well, with the current delay with IDF with regards to the operations that was planned, because I think this is my last question actually,
Hmm.
because from the outside that we are seeing, right? So everybody is asking the same question, that at least from the military point of view, they're asking the same question that okay, what's going to be the end game here? Everybody knows that Israel has the capability to occupy Gaza. That's not the problem,
Free our
but
land. Not this is not an occupation if we're
uh,
taking back our land.
okay, so yeah,
The
they will be
places
able
who
to.
are occupied are the Middle East and North Africa, and they're
Mhm,
occupied under the Arab Islamic people. It is very
mhm.
important. I'm sorry that I'm cutting you off, but like if if we're not changing our vocabulary,
Yeah,
people will think this is an occupation.
yeah, I
Israel
understand.
is the one who's being occupied by the radical Islamic world for
Mhm.
centuries.
Yeah. Noted. In that case, let me just correct my statement again. When I meant
No,
occupation, I meant it in the context of in this particular operation that Israel is planning, because I don't think Israel government has any political will or intention of like actually governing that land, and I think that's why they are also not sure. Like, okay, we can maybe let's say we are successful with the operation, but what should we do next after that?
it was
Because setting
pretty
up.
obvious. They're saying what they're going to do. The two main goals are to make sure our hostages are free
Mhm.
and to make sure Hamas, the terror organization, is disarmed. I really hope they will do this also to the Islamic Jihad, which is another terror organization there.
Mhm.
And
Uh,
honestly, I just hope, they're gonna let like Egypt take control of that. So Egypt will be have to give them free water and electricity and all of that because all of that is coming from my pocket. Those
yeah,
people are alive because of the money. The taxes are, my
yeah,
taxes, not their taxes.
yeah, yeah. I completely agree with that as well. And this actually connects to the earlier point that I was talking about, which is essentially, I think, of course, at the moment, I think Hamas can be destroyed, but I think the power vacuum left there would actually just create any other organization, just like how after Al Qaeda, ISIS came, right? I think the power vacuum would still kind of lead to this perpetual state of war. And yeah, at least from our end, that's how at least we are interpreting the weight with the IDF going into the Gaza. But do you think a common Israeli citizen is actually thinking this uh, thinking this deeply at the moment with the military actions, or do they want to have do they want to complete this the military operation as soon as possible to get back to normalcy?
Of course, we want to get back to normal. We're not planning to make this longer as from what it's supposed to be. We don't want that. Let me be
Mhm.
perfectly clear. Israel, not the country, not the people, not the government, and not the people. No one wants that.
Mhm.
We're being forced to fight, and therefore we are fighting. We,
Mhm.
you think I wanted to wake up at 6:30 a.m. 2 weeks ago to and like run for a shelter? No, it was 6:30 a.m. I much rather continue sleeping. I
Yeah,
mean, we don't want that.
yeah, I understand. So yeah, hopefully hopefully the entire thing will be wrapped up as soon as it can, and hopefully, yeah, everything will normalize soon. Again, from outside we can just hope and pray, but
No,
we are
from the
with the
outside, you
situation.
have power. Hopes
Mhm.
and prayers are important, and thank you so much for doing this because I do believe that prayers are helping this world. I don't know how, but they are. Hope is something important. However, what you can do is if you see an Israeli story, if you see a story about it, if you see a picture, something you can, if you see a video that you like, not just mine, share it. You can share it. You will reach at least two people who will see it. If
Mm.
even if you don't have like anyone, at least two people will see it.
Yeah,
You can help by commenting on other people who are talking about this, commenting in on their videos, like other comments, answer other comments, even if just like I agree. Guys,
mhm.
you can help it. It helps the algorithm show it to other people. You can help the exposure of all of that. You have a power, and it's just with using this. You see this?
Mhm.
This is a
Mhm.
mouse. This can do amazing things, and you're able, and you can do that.
Yeah, yeah, of course, like we are trying to really educate ourselves and make sure that again, in the information warfare, Israel is not fighting alone on this. And like, just like me, I think yeah, there was an article that I read which I was saying that Al Jazeera was very upset at Indians because their plan to control the narrative, the information warfare, was kind of countered because like yeah, millions of Indians came in support for Israel at an unplanned and unorganized way. So
Al
yeah,
Jazeera is Al Jazeera is trying to act like it's a Western
Mhm.
news source, but Al Jazeera is an Islamic jihadi news source, and it's
Yeah,
really easy to see it if you just look at their logo. I mean, seriously, it's that
yeah,
easy. People should start educating themselves on the place who is giving them their news out, like news and everything.
yeah. I agree. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's all the questions I had. Again, thanks a lot for
Thank
your
you
time.
so much for joining
And
and asking the questions. I
yeah,
like it is important, and remember, you have a power. You can use it.
Yep, we will continue to contribute from our end within the limited power that we have. We'll do our best so that Israel can come out of this as soon as possible and as quickly as possible. And
Thank you.
and
Israel
yeah,
and Baharat, seriously, you guys are in the same problem as we. I'm sorry.
yes, yes. Thank you for showing a concern again. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay
thank
then.
you so much.
Jai Hind, long live India, long live Israel. Jai Hind. Bye.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I love the fact that you guys are um, talking and asking questions. It is important. Don't feel like you don't like have the opportunity to ask a question, because this is what my stream is all about. Because I keep saying this, I'm seeing a lot of people doing videos about the Israeli-Palestinian war. None of them are talking to an Israeli or a Palestinian person, and this is why it's so annoying to me. Because like, if you want to get educated, all you need to do is to talk to people. That is it. Okay, let's see who's on. And now I'm slowly gonna make it like shorter, because it is like almost 3 hours, and I feel like you guys uh have to tolerate me long enough. Okay, so Hero, I'm letting you join. 1, 2, 3. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I said I'm not answering this question. I'm at war. How are you?
Actually, I'm very upset today. My lift is not working, so I have to go down 10 stairs up and down. So I'm not very happy
Your
today.
what is not working? I'm sorry.
My building's lift is not working.
Mm,
Escalator, elevator, what do you call it?
nah, we're calling it Malit because we're using our native language. But yeah, I know how sad this is. I feel your pain, trust me. Even though, do some exercise, it's good for you.
Yes. So today I watched a video on the internet. So I was very curious to know, like, these people were like blindly, firing at the Israeli people, like blindly they were firing at the ambulance and all.
Yeah.
So suddenly some guy from Israel, he shot that guy who was actually live streaming it. He got shot by an Israeli guy.
Wait,
So I
I'm
believe,
confusing. I'm confused. Can you, first of all, can you go to either a quiet place or get close to the router so we'll be able to hear you better?
yeah. So I
Because I do
was,
want to hear what you have to say. However, I'm trying. I'm struggling. I'm sorry.
yeah. So I was saying that I
Yes.
saw a video wherein the jihadi was killing Israelis blindly, like he was firing blindly. But someone from that Israeli village also fired at him, and he got shot.
Okay.
So I believe these people have got the military training, the villagers.
So what you were saying is you saw a person fight. You saw a person defending itself.
Yes, so some Israeli fired at the jihadi, and he got shot down. I think he was
It's
dead.
called a terrorist.
Yes,
Some
a terrorist. Yeah,
civilian fired at a terrorist and stopped the terrorism.
yes.
Yes.
So I believe how come this guy, the civilian, is able to fire? That means he must have got army training from the Israeli people or Israeli army.
Either that or he has a lot of experience with terror attack, because this is not the first time we've been dealing with this problem.
Yes. So if it was India, like no villagers has the capacity to shoot back. It has to be done by the army itself. No one in
It's
India
not has
can
to be
shoot.
by the armies. Okay, let me teach you guys thing. I'm teaching everyone this trick. Do you see this? This is just a normal water bottle, everyone. See, there's water from the tap. Okay? If you open this cap and just do what, let me do it, and just do this, the water will come out. If you throw water at a person for a split second, it shocked them, and this is giving you enough time to fight. In a lot of terror attacks, the people who were managed to stop the terror attack were not using any weapons. Someone stopped a terror attack with a guitar, with a pizza tray. People are, the second that we're in danger constantly, and this is why we're using Everything around you can be a weapon, and everything around you can protect you. So if you will be in the same, not if, when you guys going to have the same issue in your country openly, because it is happening in your country, people are planning to hurt you guys. Um, you will learn, you will have to practice how to make sure things, um, how you can use the things that surround you to protect you. If you rely on an army to protect you, that's an issue. Never assume someone else will come and save you. I don't assume the people of India who are like, there's a billion of you. If you guys will come here, join their army, and like, this could help us a lot. But I don't expect you to do that. You cannot expect other people to come and free you and set and like help you. You need to learn how to help yourself. You are unmuted. You're
That
muted.
is true. Actually, I also saw the news today that 15 American warships have surrounded Israel. So just wanted to
Mm-hmm.
know the Israeli perspective. Do you guys trust America? Like, what is your position on American support to Israel?
I don't like that question because this is I'm gonna give you a geopolitical answer and I don't like geopolitics. Okay, but America is using Israel as a military base. Um, the only military base that America have in the like in the Middle East. So they're here, and also the hostages. They're currently right now. We know there's 11 USA citizens who are hostages in the Gaza Strip. So, um, so USA came here first of all to make sure their military base is safe and to make sure their people are safe. If they're helping the rest of us, that is great. I want to see people help us. I want to see humanity joining forces to fight radicalization. I don't believe that like if we were not cool with USA, I don't believe they will join and try to help us. That was a
Ap-
geopolitical answer. I'm sorry for
yes.
doing this, everyone.
Apparently, Raw is saying that American special forces will be on ground to like the hostages should be freed, right? So they have a plan to recover take the hostages back from the Hamas. This
Yeah,
is
well,
what the raw
let's
people
wait
are saying
until
in
this
India.
will happen. We need to
Yeah,
wait until this will happen and then we'll say if it did or not. It's not
because this similar situation happened to us also. Like Indian workers in 2014 were like kidnapped by ISIS in Iraq.
mm-hmm.
They were working as laborers in Iraq, building roads for the Arabs. So what we did is we didn't go to Modi ji and to help. So what we did is we contacted our Arab tribe friends. We, through the help of the Arab tribes and our contacts with the Arabs, we were able to free most of the hostages. I believe Israel might be also having contacts with the Arabs who can help in freeing the
First of all, let me
hostages.
be perfectly clear. Israel has Arab people inside of it. Arab Muslim people inside of it who are right now fighting for the freedom of Israel. It's not just like there are a lot of people who are understanding that radicalization is a bad thing. So like let's be clear about the people who are in this fight.
And I also wanted to know about this ultra orthodox Jews. Are they having the same views as the jihadis? Are they extremists also? Like how they are treating, like how they're reacting to the Hamas attacks?
Well, we're not raping people and we're not murdering children and women and like killing people, and we're trying to as much as we can, we're trying to not hurt innocent people. Israel is not not a radical state, and Israel is not going to react. A lot of people ask me this: why is Israel going to react in a disproportional way? And like people think this is disproportional. What is Israel is doing right now? The right proportion will be to rape the same amount of people, to kill the same amount of babies, all of that. Israel will not do that.
Yes, and I really like your patience, and I think the Jews are known for the intelligence and spirituality,
There's
and
smart and dumb people everywhere. Seriously.
that I see some of the viewers who talk with you like had like few brain cells as compared to you
No, no,
people.
no. Hold on, hold on. I think this is important because every person has the right to talk to to more people. Every person, even if you got brainwashed, even if you didn't, like it is important for us to talk to each other. And I even if people don't know, like don't have the like question I want to answer, it's not changing the fact that people are able to join and ask questions. I love that. Even if the question is stupid according to some people, I don't care. That person took a lot of courage to come and ask a question and get an answer, and that's how he is educating himself. That's the purpose of my streams. That's the purpose. I'm sorry, bad English. That is the purpose of my channel. So I will learn about the Bharatian culture and many others, and you guys will learn about mine. There is no dumb questions here.
Yeah, because we Indians have a per capita of $2,000, whereas in Israel you people earn $60,000. So I believe most people should be rude to Indians, but you people, like you especially, is giving us respect and talking nicely.
Why would be rude
So
to
that was a
Indians?
bit of a surprise.
Wait.
Yeah,
Why would we be rude?
because my American clients are like that only. They would speak to us a bit rude because they earn $60,000 in a year and we earn only two thousand
Well,
dollars in a year. So
who
they would
cares
be a
about
bit
the
rude. Yeah.
money? Have you seen my videos before? I explained several times why the civilians of Israel, are respecting the civilians of India. We're two
Yes,
really old civilizations, and why would first of all, why would you be rude to a person, like, period? But like, I don't see a reason to be rude to a person as long as, like, respect meets respect. That is it.
yeah. I have seen many Israelis in Kasol, Himachal Pradesh. That's a place
Mm-hmm.
where the Israeli army goes, I think, after they complete their military training. I've seen many Israelis sleeping on the garden there. Maybe,
In Bharat, right?
yes, in India and
I don't think you
Himachal
guys
Pradesh.
understand how much uh, Jewish people love your country and your people. I don't think you understand this because you're looking at things from a geopolitical point of view, because you're also being brainwashed to see, and there's all this YouTubers here telling you don't be fooled by them, but then there's so many people who are just coming to your country and trying to educate themselves about your country. And I think if you see those Israelis, go and talk to them. Seriously, there is so many of us going right now. There's not a lot of Israelis because the second and the war started, a lot of them uh, came back to our lands to fight. But if you see an Israeli person in the street, just talk to them, just get to know them. Tell them, hey, I want to get to know you and ask questions about Israel, and I'd love to hear your perspective about the way you see my city. Every time someone is telling me I was in Israel, I'm always asking them, can you let me know what did you enjoy? What happened? Like, what do you think? Ask them about how they see your country, and ask questions about their country, and ask them why did they came to your land. Just like, if you see them in the streets, it's better than what we're doing right now because you were able to actually physically communicate with them, like not just through the internet. So please do that.
Yes. So there is a cafe called Green Cafe in there. We call it the Mossad Cafe. like,
You
like
guys are so
we
obsessed with the Mossad. I cannot, seriously. But yeah.
everywhere, every Israeli they will consider him as an Mossad agent. So they look at, oh, what this guy is doing.
I don't like that. We're not all Mossad agents. We're just like majority of us are normal people. But yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
I
that is
understand
one.
the joke. Yeah.
That is one of the reasons that every people in the world got scared when Hamas attacked Israel, because we knew CIS no intelligence on Hamas, but we definitely knew that this Mossad people will have intelligence. Like
Hmm.
uh, because you people are in the heart of the Middle East, and America is far away, so America is not expected to have an
But
intelligence
America is also
superior.
understanding something very fundamental. America, remember, not a lot of Americans, but the army remember 9/11. And the Americans understand that if Israel will be destroyed, the Islamic world called Israel the little devil and America the big devil. They are understanding that if Israel will not be the punching bag, they will also, like what I'm telling to you, all the world will be next. America does not want another 9/11, just like how people from Baharat want another 26th of November. And this is why they're understanding that they need to come and fight.
India is relatively safer than Israel because I think Pakistan is our main enemy, and Pakistan is does not even have oil or doesn't have any money. Now it's in a completely weak position. So Pakistan we are a bit safe, I can say, because
You're not
as
safe because
compared to
your
Arabs, they
problem
don't
is
have the
not
money.
with Pakistan. Your problem is not with Pakistan. Your problem is with the people who are inside of Baharat. The people who are right now in the street waving the Palestinian flag in Baharat, those are your enemy, not Pakistan, not Myanmar, not China.
Yeah, the government is completely focused on Pakistan. Every move Pakistan makes, there is headlines here in India.
Hmm.
Last yesterday, I think they test fired one Ababil missile, and it was everything everywhere on the news. Like Pakistan did this. We have to build a better missile than them. We have to safeguard our country. Like everyone is obsessed with Pakistan here.
Yeah, and the second, and this is you can you like you said, you're obsessed with Pakistan, but you don't understand why it's happening in your own home. That is a problem.
Yes,
Yeah. Any
and
last question?
yes, just wanted to know how is the weather there? Like, is it too hot, or like how's the weather now there?
Oh, it's crazy. Just like the war. It was raining, now it's hot. Tomorrow it's still gonna be hot. After this, it will be raining. I mean, it's
Okay.
fall, so you know.
All right, it's too hot here now. Everyone is blaming Israel. Or Israel is bombing
Dude,
Gaza.
that's
That's why it's very
my.
hot.
If you're a Hindu, pray to Indru Dev. I'm not part of the. I'm not controlling weather. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's called October heat in India. It's too hot now.
Mm. Well,
Okay,
I
then
hope things will be good.
yeah, thanks for your time,
Thank you.
and hope
Thank you so
Israel
much.
wins and Hamas is destroyed.
Okay, let's see who is next. Guys, I'm not letting new people join. The people who are inside of the group thingy will join, but I'm not letting new people because we're about to have 3 hours and this is a little too much. So, Ratan, I'm letting you in. 1, 2, 3. Hello.
Hello, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's been a while since I've had a chat with you.
Mm-hmm.
I do follow you on Instagram, and I wanted to show you something. I think you'll remember this.
You showed me last time that you're watching me on the big TV, and I felt
Oh, you
really embarrassed.
remember?
And guess what? Saved.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
So,
of course I remember.
I
Guys,
just,
my entire point is to get to know people here. Of course I will remember you guys.
I follow you on Instagram. I hope you get my messages.
I'm getting a lot of messages, so I'm sorry if I'm not replying to everyone. Know that I am reading. Guys, I am reading all of your messages. I just don't really have a lot of time to reply. I'm sorry for that.
It's all right. I understand. So, I had a few questions for you.
Sure.
Uh, First is, do you support Benjamin Netanyahu?
That's not a yes or no answer. I
Okay.
support some of the things he's doing. I don't support some of the things he's doing. This is not a
So,
black and white.
in generally, do the population of Israel support him? Okay, so he has come up with a stance that he wants to eradicate Hamas.
Hmm.
And what I see that is happening in Israel is that Hamas is supported by the Palestinian people under force, maybe, or willingly. That I am not sure of. And we are saying that this is a war, this is a war. However, what he said was Israel is in a state of war.
Hmm. We are.
And right now, what is happening in Palestine, I mean, the Gaza Strip, is a military operation of Israel.
It's not.
They're
No,
not
no, 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 no.
attacking the
This is
West
not a
Bank.
military operation of Israel. This is a war that happened after a big terror attack where people with Israeli people were raped, kidnapped, and slaughtered.
So, would it be right to say that this is a war on terrorism?
Yes, they made it very clear. He didn't say this is a war on the West, on Palestine. He said this is a war on Hamas and radical terrorist organization.
Okay, because there is a country called Ukraine, which is quite bigger than the Gaza Strip. And when Russia went in, they said that they are doing a military operation and they're not having a war with Russia at the moment. Eventually, it became a war.
Let me explain to you guys why people say military operations and not war. Okay, I don't know if you know, but there is in Hague there is the huge court. Like there, every country has its own court system where you being judged, but there is the highest court, the court where countries are being judged. If you are in a state of war, you can be judged there for war crimes. If you are in a state of a military operation, you cannot be judged there. So the world cannot judge you there. It is something that is inside of your country.
Okay. So, this court that you're talking about is the International Court of Justice,
Exactly.
which is in Hague.
Hmm.
And Hague is in Prague, I believe, or
I
is it
am
Spain?
too tired to remember right now. I'm sorry. It is
It's
3 hours that I'm talking to you guys.
What time is it there?
It is almost 9.
Oh, okay. Well, my second question to you is, do you know anything about Navratri or
The
Dashera?
holiday?
Navratri or Dashera.
To say more words. So I'll see if yes or no.
Okay, so there is a festival in India which
Oh,
is
no, I
currently
said
going
this is
on.
why I asked if Navaratri the holiday. Yes, I know. How is this related to
So,
the Israel problem right now?
well, the thing is that it's not related as such, but what I feel like is that on the last day of Navratri, we celebrate Dashera, in which we burn down a effigy of Ravan.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that Israel might be able to burn down the effigy of Hamas worldwide because
Let's see.
it's a day of how do I put it? It's a very positive, very I'm not getting the word exactly, but
No worries.
it's a day where evil wins. I mean, loses and goodness wins over evil.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope Israel also wins on this path.
It's not just an Israel war, it's all the world war against radicalization. So I agree with you. I hope, like what you said, the entire humanity will be able to win this round at least.
One more
Any
thing,
other
did you
question?
know? Did you know about the statement that Pakistan made about its weaponry and nuclear missiles?
I don't care
That
about
it
Pakistan.
doesn't belong
Pakistan are not even acknowledging Israel as a country. Why would I care about Pakistan as a country?
because it's saying that it is the weapons of nuclear. I mean, the nuclear weapons that Pakistan has is not only Pakistan's, but it belongs to the Muslim world. And Hamas being
Right,
an
because like
organization
I'm
as
keep
such,
telling you, this is not a war between countries. This is a war on radical Islam.
right? Well, I hope you have the best days ahead. Stay safe. It was nice
Thank
talking to you. Thank you so
thank
much.
you. Thank you so much for joining. And guys, I need you all to understand that this is a war that you are also a part of. You are in war. Realize it. Like I said, if you want to join, you need to be unmuted. Um, Virat, I'm putting you on 1, 2, 3. Hello.
Hello, thank you for joining me.
Hi. You need to get closer to the mic so I'll be able to hear you.
Hello, I'm audible now.
Let's try. Yeah,
Okay. So, firstly, thank you for adding me.
sure, of course.
And currently, I'm an undergrad student pursuing my engineering degree. Okay. And I
Hey,
just
good
want to
job.
say,
Good luck.
yeah, yeah, thank you. And I just want to say that we as Indians, we can relate to the tyranny which the Israelis faced on this 7th October.
Mm-hmm.
And we stand strongly with the Israeli people in this moment of grief and terror in every
Thank
capacity
you.
as we can. And as we are supporting ourselves when we stand against terrorism, as that the person which added a few moments ago said, that yes, we are
Mm-hmm.
supporting ourselves when we stand against terrorism, but we are also supporting Israelis, and we support every innocent which anywhere in this world is a victim of the terror. Okay.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, and what I would like to say that. mm that I'm seeing that many people are trying to support indirectly Hamas and terrorism by hiding behind the so-called Palestinian cause and putting ahead the term resistance ahead in front of terrorism for these acts. That no, this is not terror. This is a resistance which Hamas is doing. Um,
Yeah, I mean,
so
the 26th of November was also a resistance, right? It was
no,
not
no,
a
no.
terror
I'm not
attack, it
saying
was
that.
a
Yeah,
resistance.
yeah. That's obviously a
Just say,
terrorist act.
man, those people who are saying this, just say that back to them. Ask them, in every country, there is a terrible thing happened because of the Islamic movement. Always ask them about things from their countries and see if they agree
Yeah,
with this or not.
yes. And what just I want to add that okay, for a moment that we recognize that Hamas is a resistance force, then truth, no resistance force acts in the way that Hamas did on 7th of
Mm,
October. Because here in India, we also have a long history of resistance against occupying forces. I'm not telling you that Israel is an occupying force, but I'm putting their perspective that they assume that Israel is an occupying force, and we are
yeah,
doing resistance. So then also, if you see India, we have a movement of resistance for over 200 years against the British occupying forces, and you can never ever find a such an incident happening where we killed the innocent children or I mean women or of the British
because
colonist
for some
forces.
reason, you people are actually human.
Yeah, that's what I'm exactly saying. That if even that all the Muslims and the Arab world saying that Hamas is a force of resistance, that itself is an illogical argument to tell.
Hmm.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm
So
sorry, I'm looking at my phone because while we are talking, there is rockets being launched, not to where I am, but rockets are being launched to places in my country right now.
okay.
Just
So
to be
so
clear
be
about
safe.
the reality right now. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So I just wanted to ask that what the common Israelis think about the two-state solution, because as an Indian, I think that that's the most logical end of this animosity between Israelis and Palestinians, because what I think is that because now as Palestinians also lived there for I think over 1,000 years, so you can't
No,
just push them in oceans. So
first of all, we're
something has to
not
be done.
pushing anyone under the ocean. There are a lot of Arab people living here peacefully, serving the army, learning in Israeli institutions, all of that. The Arab world occupied the Middle East and North Africa in the 7th century.
Yeah,
So I can ask you another question. What about the people who are in Africa? What do you think the people who are the indigenous people of Libya, the indigenous people of Egypt, the indigenous people of Morocco? What do you think they should do to make sure they can live their life peacefully in those areas? because it's not just Israel. It's not Palestine is a concept that was created in the 50s. What do you think the people in other places where the radical, when the Arab Islam world occupied them, what do you think they should do?
Yeah,
I
I'm not
want
saying
I
that is.
want everyone right now, everyone who has another. Do you have another device, another phone, another computer, something?
Who, me?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Every person who has, or ever after this stream, go and Google Israel on Google Maps. And then zoom out a little bit and see the countries that surround it. Then zoom out a little more and see the countries that surround that. And zoom out a little more. See which are the countries that are with like see which are the countries that are having the indigenous people of the land and which are the countries that is right now in Arab, officially like in Arab countries, and then understand that like to ask what will we do is like it's not true. We're not part of the people. We're not saying from the river to the sea, this land will be free from other people who are not like us. Israel is a democratic state and every person has a human right to be here. However, if you are a radical person who is trying to hurt others, you can go to any of the other countries they occupied, any of the other countries. But you cannot be here if you are hurting other people. Just like
No,
how
no,
in your country, if someone is doing a crime, he's going to jail, he's being taken away from society. We're not saying we're going to make sure all those people will not be here. We're saying you have the right to choose. Either you're going to live here in a democratic state with your own um, rights and duties that you need to do, just like in the rest of us, or you can go to any other place. As long as you're being respectful, you can be here. If you're trying to hurt people, if you're trying to kill people, I wish that was what my country is actually saying. Right now, my country is just like saying, don't do that.
Yes, yes. I'm not saying that Israel is doing anything wrong, but I just wanted to know that what will be the end of this conflict between Israel and Arab
This
world?
is not a conflict between Israel. Is a conflict between every single person who is not Muslim and radical Islam. You think that this war started right now with what the terror organization did, with the slaughtering of the people? It already started in the 26th of November. It started in 9/11. It started long time ago. People think like because they were on like a small break when they were preparing, like things were fine and it's only happening in Israel. But can you honestly say that people who are radical Muslims in your country are like not planning to make sure your country will be either Islamic or destroyed?
No, no, no. We cannot say that. We very well know how the Islamist mindset works all around the world, and we have challenged the because you know that in one moment of history India was under Islamic rule, okay, and we dethroned the Islamic rule, and I think probably India is one of the few countries which has I
Hmm.
mean defeated this Islamic mindset of occupying the land and converting the people and making civilizations extinct, because they're just extinct Persians from the Iran and Babylonians, Mesopotamians. I mean, wherever they go and occupied, they just the civilizations which were there in the pre-Islamic era, they just become extinct. So we very well know the nature of these Islamist forces. But I just wanted to know that what will be I mean, how all this will end. I mean, will we require a great war which will end everything? Like all the Islamist forces will be defeated in that, or what will be the final solution?
No one will know what will happen in the end. But right now, I'm doing this to make sure you guys are aware that it's happening. It's coming your way. What
Yeah,
will
yeah,
happen, how
obviously.
this war will end, how the jihadic, radical Islamic world to the non-Islamic people war will end, that's up to us. And we can fight it right now and we can make sure this will not end on like an Islamic world. But that is something you and I need to do. Even if you don't have a military experience and everything, you have the power to communicate with people. You have the power to talk to people, to comment to other people, to help people realize that it is okay to not be radical Muslim. And it's not okay to kill people if they are not radical Muslims.
Yes, obviously.
Well, it's not that obviously, unfortunately, right now. Look at all the people who are not even are not part like of they don't have their ethnicity is not Arab, but they're still going outside with the flags of Palestine screaming and screaming like intifada and all that. Those people actually think they're doing the right thing while they are promoting and supporting all that stuff. A lot of those people, by the way, will be killed if this was like a Islamic world. A woman saying her voice, a woman speaking out, a person who is like not straight.
Yes, I understand.
Also, if you care about animals, just like know that like even dogs, I mean, they also shot every dog because if a dog is not being used as a protection, then it's unholy and should be killed. So like I don't know if you don't want people to kill puppies, if humanity is lost according to you, but you don't want puppies to die, realize that you're in terrible war right now.
Yes, yes, yes. And what about information warfare? Means in social media we see that there is a upper hand of the terrorist or the Islamic forces in the information warfare. So what about that?
So what about what? Can you repeat the question?
Information warfare. Like everyone knows that all of this was started on the 7th October was a terrorist attack, and all that thing which happened after that were only consequences of that. But even after that, in the social media, there is a perception that in this conflict that Israel is the oppressor and everything is happening because of Israel.
Yeah,
So
because it is easier to make the world think Israel are the bad guys and slowly infiltrate the other places. Every country that has right now a parade that's supporting Hamas and supporting Palestine will be next to be occupied by Hamas people and by radical jihad. It's next, unless you will oppress it, unless you will find the extremists and stop it.
yes, yes, yes. Okay, okay. Thank you.
Thank you for joining. Let's see who is next, and let's try to make it a little bit fast because 3 hours, that's way too long. Samra, I'm putting you on one, two, three. Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
What's up?
Uh, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
And ma'am, can you remember me? I am also attending the previous live session of you also.
Yeah, yeah,
And
I still
I
remember. Did you saw I said your name right?
yes, yes.
I'm
Okay.
learning.
And okay, I had a question that
Mhm.
this time now Israel had preparing for a ground combat operation to rescue their hostages, which is captured by Hamas terrorists. Like
Yes.
I think around 250 hostages. And can you tell me your perspective on that? That how how the Israel is even planning the operation to rescue their hostages?
I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna give you the information of how we're gonna do it. First of all, because I don't have it, and also, the enemy is always listening. Um, I'm kind of scared that my people will enter. When I'm saying my people, I'm talking about every single person who is living in Israel as a democratic state and serving in the army. I'm talking about Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Druze, every person. I'm
Yes,
scared that
yes.
they will enter because if they're entering by foot, I believe this entire place is booby trapped, and I believe this entire place is filled with bombs and explosives. Um, so I am scared because I know this means that a lot of people will die.
Very serious condition in Israel. I had seen the very real video footages, and I'm so much in grief and pain. And these animals let their operation attack.
Oh, they're not
Technically.
animals, they're people, and this is why we need to be very, very careful because those people can be in your area.
These are even radicalized people and that do attack, that do operate such attack. I think
Hmm.
Israel have there is some fault of security issues from the Israel also, that they give leverage to these Hamas terrorists, let these operation happened in Israel, because after some negotiations, the Israel let these Hamas terrorists, these Palestinian peoples to come to Israel and do their job, because Israeli state thinks that if they have the proper job and proper livelihood, then they drop the terrorism. But at the end of the day, it is not that like that. They even perform a biggest terrorist attack on Israel. It is
Exactly. Like
serious.
I said, this is a Western point of view that if we give them hugs and cookies, they will love us and they will
Yeah,
not
okay.
do bad things. That's not the truth. That's not the reality.
Yes, I also agree with that. That there is no negotiation with terrorists, and I do not want any ceasefire until the Hamas should be eradicated from the Gaza Strip.
Hmm.
I and I want to make you aware of that what is now problem in India. There is a serious security concern about a nexus of radical Islamist and left liberals. The left liberals called them so-called intellectual because they even justifying their terrorist barbaric attack.
I love
Uh,
how they're always, people always calling themselves intellectual and stuff. This is like,
this because the left liberals justifying their act, their barbaric attack, and they so-called
yeah.
left liberals, they call themselves as a intellectual, but in reality they are not. Okay. And
Hmm.
they are when justifying the barbaric attack of Hamas on Israel, I think. And it is a serious security concern for India, because today is Israel and tomorrow is India. We will next. And we know that
Hmm.
how is security situation is deteriorating day by day in India also, because these radical elements are the major problem that is faced by the India and Israel both. Okay. And
Hmm.
now I had a question, and I want to know your point of view on everyone is talking about the radicalism is problem and radical people are problem. What is the solution, and how do we counter collectively these radical elements from our society?
Easy to make sure radical people are not going to be in charge, to make sure every radical person is being spot on and being looked at and being watched, and to make sure people will not be radicals. Every person who is lecturing other people about becoming radicals should be arrested. Every person who is talking about harming other people should
Yes.
be, you know,
I think
taken
I
out
think
of
we have to
society.
I think we have to understand the what is the root cause of this radicalism, because the root cause of radicalism in India, I will tell you what happened in India and how this radicalism is emitted in India so
Hmm.
far. Because they have some religious institution which is called madrasas, and in their religious heads or the maulanas that will teach them hatred about other religious people. They will not tolerate any other religion on their point of view. That's why they developing the childish brain. They nourishing the childish brain with hatred. That is a problem, and that is a root cause of radicalism in common people. And it is, I think. And they will facilitate the terrorism by acting as a sleeper cells for them. It is a problem because India faces a many terrorist attack like 26/11.
Hmm.
We had our parliament attack in 2001. You hear about that. We faces
Yeah.
Pulwama. Now India is concerned about their security concern, and we all people of India are stand with the Israel, because we know that we have to collectively counter these radical elements of society. And now
Hmm.
I want to your perspective that how do we collectively more effort on these radical elements or the left liberals also.
Wait, can you say your question again? So I'll make sure I'll answer
I will
exactly
ask
what you said.
I will ask my question that
Yeah.
how should we collectively counter the left liberals fake narratives and these radical elements.
First of all, like I always say, we have a power.
Okay.
Every person here know at least two people. At least, even if no one loves you, at least two people who are willing to listen to you. Um, Go outside, talk about this.
Okay,
Easy. If you see something on the internet about this, share it. If you don't want to share it, go to the comment section, write that you agree with comments you agree with, comment, like, fave, whatever it's called. This will also help the algorithm show it to other people. Um, Even if you don't know what to do and you're just in your home, you can
okay,
still do, even if you're just on your phone, you have a power to change thing and you have the power to reach to people.
definitely, definitely.
So this is what I'm always like saying. This is how uh, people who are not on the battlefield can help. Something that is amazing that is happening here is that people who are
Yes,
not in the battlefield and are not like uh, fixing shelters and doing like things that are part of the war
yes,
are sending soldiers a lot of food. I don't think there is a soldier here that is eating the food the army is providing them right now, because civilians are actually driving, and it's kind of dangerous, but civilians are
definitely.
driving to like
It is a collective
military
effort.
bases bringing food, writing a lot of messages to those soldiers. They're all the people from kibbutz Be'eri and places that had the terrible slaughtered, uh, the people who survived are coming and being like a lot of hotels, and a lot of people actually opened their home, and like people right now that they don't know are living with them until this will end and they will be able to go back home. This incredible thing is like that people are joining together and trying to see whatever, like, in helping any way they can. People
Yes,
just go
yes.
and sing to like
It's
to
incredible.
people who are,
Definitely,
yeah, this
definitely,
is
it's
how you
incredible.
see the difference between humanity
Yes,
and,
yes.
you know,
And
the
you ask a
opposite.
question, you ask my fellow person a question that why do we support Israel? That we have to answer that we are supporting not only Israel, we are supporting humanity also, because every person who saw who saw this barbaric image of Hamas terrorist act, and that any person is stand with Israel, because any person who have a some sense of mind, they, he have to stand with Israel at that time, because it
Hmm.
is a stand with humanity also. Now, I heard an argument from a pro-Philistine supporter that Israel is occupying forces and Israel is captured their land. And I ask a question that why do you attack Israel many times? Then they had any answer me. Then it is a major
Well,
topic.
let's go with the first thing he said, that Israel occupied this land. First of all, if we look at it from, in the beginning, I was talking a lot about history and archaeology because I love that.
Yes, also I
When
also
I'm
love
gonna
that.
go to Barat, I hope I will be able to be a part of, archaeology things because it's really interesting
Okay,
for me.
you are welcome in
Um,
India.
Thank you. What you can see is memorabilia, like historical memorabilia from an era where Jewish people, the 12 tribes of Jacob, which is now known as Jewish
Definitely,
people, lived
definitely.
there. There is not a proof that people from, like, that Arab Palestinian people live there. I know they're showing you a lot of things that, like, oh, it says Palestine on this and on that document. All of those documents are less than, let's say, are
I
less than
I
a
will tell
thousand
you.
years old or stuff
I
like
know
that.
about that. I will tell you that around century 10th century BCE, there was a kingdom of Israel and kingdom of Judea, which is very ancient. And
Yeah, both of
we know
them are by Israeli people. It used to be
Israeli
called
people definitely.
Israelite
Yes,
people.
yes, definitely. And when the king Solomon built their temple mount, first temple of Jerusalem, and we
And
had
you know
also
what's the craziest thing? Those people do believe in Prophet Moses, which is like, and also in Jesus, who was a Jewish man until born, raised, died as a Jewish man. But
definitely.
so the thing is, like I said, they believe in that. However, they refuse to accept the fact, and they also believe in Abraham,
It is
the founder of
contradictory.
our family, but they refuse to admit that Jewish people, the Israeli people, were here. And the way to disprove, like the way to continue making this lie truth, is by making sure there will be no one who remember what was the truth. Let's
Definitely.
the genocide of the people who are part of the 12 tribes of Jacob is important to the radical Islamic world, because if there is still people alive saying we're part of that, we're part of the indigenous people of this land,
They are
that
going
is
according to
changing
their
their lives.
radical narrative. Definitely. They
Yeah.
are going according to their radical narrative, and they want to spread their only radicalism around the
No, I'm
world.
not saying that like Palestinian people are like we're gonna kick them out or something like this. Like I said, they're more than welcome to live here with the
Okay.
same equal rights. Now you go to the Gaza Strip and the West Bank and see how many Jewish people live there. How many?
No. Some almost
It's that
negligible.
easy. Go to other countries. Go to Lebanon. Go to Egypt. Go to Syria. Go to Jordan, the countries that surround us. See how many Jewish people used to live there 500 years ago and 50 years ago and today.
And
100 years
almost
ago, 50 years ago, and today. Go even like further, like search all over these areas where Arab people are. See who they are. And the person who write Free Palestine, join the stream and have a conversation. Stop spamming. This is stupid. I
okay.
want you guys to ask questions. I want you guys to educate yourself. And if you have questions,
Okay.
it is
Thank you,
important.
sister. Thank you, sister. I'm done. And thank you for giving me time. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
And
much
lots
for
of love
being
from
here.
India. And stay safe. I hope you stay safe. Okay.
Thank you. I really hope this will be true. I am not safe, but it is what it is. Okay, let's try to make it like quick because I don't want to end in like 4 hours. Um, Akshay, you're next. 1, 2, 3. Hello, Akshay. Fix your audio. Oh, he disappeared. Okay, fine. If you want to join, you need to be unmuted. So I'll let you join. No one is unmuting themselves. I guess this is the end of this stream. So thank you so much, guys, for being here, for willing to listen, for question. This is very important. I'm glad that you guys joined. Quick thing before we go. I think this is like very important to say thank you to every single person who was here and donated. So I'll just like gonna show all the amazing people who are trying to support in any way they can. Thank you guys so much. um, I really appreciate you guys for doing this, and like I said, this your support means a lot, and I really appreciate you joining. I know a lot of people ask a lot of questions, like as you can see that I didn't covered. However, I will definitely try to do more of those, and the opportunity you guys will have the opportunity to ask your question and getting answers. Let's just make sure every single person is having recognition. And like I said, the majority of the questions are something I already answered. So just thank you, every single person who was here, wrote a comment. I really appreciate you guys. I'm going to see you next live stream. Yeah, and take care. If you have any questions, like I said, continue writing questions in the box, in the comment section. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to do this very, very soon. Okay, so I'll see you next time. Shalom, Leitraot, Namaste. Thank you, every single one of you. I really appreciate you being here.